Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, pump sports radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett produced, pay the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon, cause we be, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, May 17th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. The coaster, man. The coaster. What a roller coaster ride last night. You know, the Operation Garcia was like a smash and grab, obviously, with the 115-70 win for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So now I have a nice cushion. But I was sitting there in the final minute of the Oilers Nucks game. You know, $1,000 if it goes to overtime. Now I got the Canucks win. You know, so it wasn't worst case scenario. A Canucks win in overtime. Now we're talking. So in that minute and a half or 2 minutes, it doesn't go to overtime. I do get the Canucks win. And 5 runs are scored in the 9th inning at Chavez Ravine at Dodger Stadium. 4-0 going into the 9th inning and the under 7.5. And that cost me the winning day in baseball. All this is happening at 1 a.m. You know, it's just such a battle. And I have to remind myself that this is the life I always dreamt of. I have to remind myself of that because the battle is just so real and so serious and so severe, and the consequences are so, you know, they can be really positive. They can be devastating. It's just tough, man. In saying all that, I'm ready to go. The wife was out. I had the kids. I just worked nonstop. On this card. I barely slept. And I'm ready to attack. We got Bobano for Friday, Saturday, and we even have a Sunday NBA game we're going to cap together. We have NHL and NBA Playoff set, and then MLB with Jose Bouquett, and we have best bets from Daby Cab and TJ. So we're all ready to roll. We're all ready to fire away. But, man, the roller coaster is real. We want to, off the top, talk about the fundraiser, the GoFundMe for our friend Turnsey. They found out a diagnosis of epilepsy for his son. He was having seizures. There's no history of epilepsy in the family. It caught them completely off guard. He's a great young athlete, great little hockey player. And they were blindsided by the news and the steps that have to be taken now. Turnsey's had to leave his work. He leave his job to look after things and look after his son. So we have a fundraiser, GoFundMe going on that the Turnsey family put out. I tweeted it out yesterday. Jose popped it into the chat right there. So there is the GoFundMe. Very important. If anybody can help out, even just $10, you know, it doesn't have to be much. Just a little bit help, you know. Turnsey, a big part of our community. Those remember the Rusty Kuntz play of the day throughout the pandemic. It was a lot of fun. So shout out to our guy, Turnsey. Then we have the Freakness. The Freakness at the Preakness in 24 hours. 24 hours from now, we'll be off and racing. We'll be on race 3. We'll be talking about race 3 because race 1 is at race 3. Race 1 is at 10:30 in the morning. We pop off at 10:15 in the morning, and you know, our usual cast of characters will be rolling with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Razor Sharp Picks will be rolling with us. We got the Montana Chicken Chaser, Kev Reed. We got Guillermo Zertucci. We got Spenny Penny Bombs. We got the whole group here. So we are in business. Absolutely in business. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we got to get that cash. You know, we got to succeed. So that was a night that was cash those unders very easily in Denver, Minnesota. And then, you know, got paid in full with Operation Garcia, which was extremely important. What was it here? I got it all here. Let me just go to. I haven't sent it in to my local, but I have the draft here all ready to go. How did we do in it? With the Nuggets players who went 7-1. Only guy who went over the player prop was Davies Caldwell Pope. I made $1,002 on them, and then we lost money on the Mavericks. Excuse me, on the Timberwolves, which was a bit of a surprise. They only offered up 7 player props and cashed 3. We lost 260, but overall, picking up 750 on Operation Garcia was very, very important. And it all comes down to that half point. McDaniels went for 10, and his total was 9.5. That would have given us the win for the Wolves team, but 7-1. Forget about it. 7-1 on the Nuggets. Thank you, Denver, for your no-show. And we cashed both under. So we went 2-0 there. We went 2-4 in NHL. The draw in New York, Rangers, Carolina was 4 or 5 minutes away before the Rangers and Chris Kreider, the natural hat trick. They've got all the pieces. They've got all the pieces. That's pretty impressive. We cashed that first period under 1.5 though pretty easily. But that was it. We went 1-2 in those games because we lost Hurricanes -1. Cash Canucks +125. Lost Edmonton, Vancouver draw. Lost Edmonton, Vancouver first period under 1.5. So went 1-2 in that, down 0.75 units. So overall 2-4, down 1.75 units in NHL. Very disappointing, but it's a game of inches. And I'm gonna get mine. So that was NHL. That was NBA, and then MLB. We went 3-4. Disappointing that we didn't get that under in Cincinnati, LA Dodgers. So that was the day that was. Let's focus on what's ahead of us. Justin McKelvey stacks play of the day. Ohtani. And man, did that what Nutflush talk about with the difficulty and the all the passion that goes into these Giants-Dodgers series, that when the Dodgers leave the San Francisco or which was the case, they left Oracle to go to Chavez Ravine. They just don't have it in that next game. We got to keep an eye out for that, man. We've been seeing that for too long. I know Jose cashed on the Reds. Nicholas Earl cashed on the Reds. I should have just taken the Dodgers team total under, I guess, rather than okay, whatever. So we've copied and pasted our guy Stacks play today. Let's get that right in front of our MLB. Now, we have a ton of work to do. We also have a horse race. Congratulations to our winner yesterday, TJ Parks. $100 he picked up. 100 bones, because Preston Ekdahl had one last Friday, and he just pushed that money along. So congratulations, TJ Parks, $100 winner. Swiggy says NHL bracket updated and UFC $100 contest live. Shout out to our guy Swiggy. $100 contest is live. Hit that UFC contest. Of course, the UFC live stream will be going on the same time as our horse racing show. It will go on past this. And there is our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. Says, good luck to everyone. I'll be betting horses until 6:30 Eastern tonight. Join me after this show. Razor's going to be hammering because it's the Black-Eyed Susan, which is the Oaks, basically. The Preakness Oaks, basically, but it's the Black-Eyed Susan. Energy says it's Skeens Day. Do we bet the K's over? Stay tuned for MLB. Joey Harb, our only 3-time champion of horses. Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper. Redbeard CLC's on Pittsburgh over 7.5. There's Truth Teller in the house. Gerald Jones has Vacation Day. Let's get it. And Razor Sharp Picks, Black-Eyed Susan action is in. He's got the 8 to win, 368 exacta and try box. That will be copied and pasted right here. I cannot wait for our big Saturday show. I'm going to try to head over your way after this show as well, Razor. We have Nate Dog 420 ready to go. Red Girl in the house. Johnny Gunn says, what up, everybody? Holding plus 450 on the Stars to win in 6 games. Stars off of losses. All you need to know to back them today. It's a tough game. That's the one I haven't moved on yet. Rocco Rogers says, what's good, crew? Amazing night with the Rangers comeback. What a game. So happy for my team. Let's get it today. Juan Ruiz in the house. Our guy, Juan Ruiz. Juan, thank you so much for donating to Turnsy's GoFundMe. You're just such a team player, such a quality guy. I had the pleasure of getting to meet Juan Ruiz in person when we had our Summit of Champions in Miami, and he's just the real deal. Thank you, Juan, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for supporting our fam like that. Serious business, ready to go. Sean Pulliam, Jay Kopp. We got Slats. He says, great night in NHL. Rangers plus 140. Rangers to win series plus 130. Nucks plus 125. Trouba blocks the only loss on Bruins team total under 2.5. And Panthers first period minus half plus 170. Going for the score in Panthers game. I like it. I like it. Juan Ruiz saying that Pryor is fire. Thank you. Thank you. The GOAT, the king. Richard Pryor. Frankie Ritako focusing on the Pacers minus 5.5 tonight. Thank you, Truth Teller, for the kind words. Jay Kopp, thank you. And TJ says, let's go. King Kreider, huge balls. What a leader. What a guy. Those are, what can you say? It feels like the Rangers have everything, all the pieces of the puzzle. I hope they play the Panthers. That would be a great series. Gerald Jones says, nice call, Jose, on the 300 fade. Billy Friedrich nailed the exact Rangers to win the series in 6 games at plus 600. Rangers at plus money last night, but lost badly on the Nuggets full game. It's okay, Billy. You got yours. Smooth Balls play of the day is in. It is Joey Ortiz hits. So is that just Joey Ortiz hit plus the Brewers money line? Okay, I feel you. Let's get that copied and pasted here right under Razor Sharp picks Black-Eyed Susan action. Billy Friedrich says Canes will look a lot different next season. Well, if Rod Brindamore is fired, he'll be hired immediately by the Leafs. So I'd keep him around. Bubbarito in the house is heading to Lake Charles, Louisiana next week for 5 days. I love it. Bubbarito heading to Lake Charles, Louisiana. I got to tell Slaughter, get Slaughter and the boys to come out and meet you, man. I'll tell Slaughter. Bubbarito heading over to Lake Charles, Louisiana. What a beautiful spot that is. Beautiful casino. AJ 1337, Rocco Rogers. Okay, everybody ready to rock. Great to see all you guys. So, Brandon the Great, Chosen One, Doug Perky in the house. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play of the day is the LA Angels. Spreadsheet play of the day, dog. Spreadsheet play of the dog running nice is the LA Angels. LA Angels, a late night action here. I've only moved on one bet in baseball. There's a ton that I like, but it was more prudent just to get the work done on my worksheet so that we could just bang it out all together. So that's what I did. But thank you for sharing that with us, Ron Crawford. Brandon the Great on Skeens, over 2.5 strikeouts. First inning plus 1,100. Wow. Andrew G says, next Maple Leafs coach, odds say Craig Berube. Yes, it's most likely Craig Berube because I don't think that the Hurricanes are going to fire Rod Brindamore. But it's between, we think it's Craig Berube here. Jeffrey Moore, NJ Striker, Viper NB with his action. Chip Plylar. This is the California Angels. Mark Langston's California Angels. That's who it is. California Angels. Old school shit, man. Let's get Vipers MLB action up here and locked in. Steve G off of 2-0 night. I love it. Jarek White. Wine time in the house. DC Capper, Rodney Barton, LJ from H-Town, Pacers first quarter, Brewers, Astros over, and Stars money line. God, we need I can't wait to talk about all these hockey games. A lot of love for the Stars here, and I get it. Subhuman Gaucho hockey play today. Panthers first to 5 shots on goal. Now up 16.66 units. Our guy Subhuman Gaucho's hockey play of the day. He's been crushing it this year. Follow Subhuman Gaucho on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter. He's putting out all his action there too. Let me get. Oh God, I haven't tweeted out the show. You know what, Subhuman? I got to tweet this show out, but I'm gonna. You know what? It's more important. I want you guys to follow our guy Subhuman Gaucho. So just give me a second here. He can't put a link to his Twitter in the chat. Let me get Subhuman Gaucho's Twitter handle here for you guys. He's a great follow. Putting out all his action. He's at Subhuman Gaucho. There it is right there. Copied and pasted. Follow him. Just dropping dimes nonstop there on his Twitter, on his X handle. Andrew G. Martinez, Justin Brar, 15K on slots. Okay, Justin Brar, take that 15K and never bet a slot again. Take that 15K and never bet a slot again. But nice job getting that 15K. Cap and cards ready to go. TJ says, alert for my best bets. Lock in Cincinnati, LA. First 5 over 4.5. It will be 5 before I come to discuss. Lock me in. So there we go. TJ is in. His official pick here on the show is in. That is Frankie Montas. I watched Frankie Montas really closely in that last start. The first time through the lineup, he's very hard to hit. And then that second time through, he's just everyone's barreling up on him. Everybody's barreling up on him. Joe T still has that plus 6,600 with the T-Wolves. Gary Tenebra, Kelly McInnes, Joe T, my dude. Aslati says, I got you beat with Nux misses. In 2009, Habs took French-Canadian Louis LeBlanc first round at 18. His career was 5 goals in 50 games. At 19, Rangers took Chris Kreider. Wow, that is, I don't know if that, Oli Uolevi ahead of Matthew Tkachuk and Charlie McAvoy. If you wanted to pick a defenseman, if you were just so set on picking a defenseman, you could have got Charlie McAvoy. I don't know, but that is a tough one. Louis LeBlanc. Great to see all of you guys. Let's get to work. Billy Friedrich, BJ in the house, says Nick's not winning tonight. Doug on Knicks plus 5.5. Sun Dizzle in the house. Great to see you, Sun Dizzle. Went to a bootleg Hooters in his Mutombo jersey last night. It was a nightmare. All right. I love it. All right. Let's get to work. Let's bring on your star of Friday shows here on Betting with the Bag at Pub Sports Radio. We have NHL, NBA to rock with them, and then we'll get into that giant MLB card with TJ and Dabra Cadabra. And by the way, as you guys probably know, that the waffle play of the day, now 19-2. We handed it out to you guys on a silver platter. Man. And unfortunately, it got me off of the A's, but I still was on the A's team total over. I got mine, though. I got that full game over 6.5 after the heading into the bottom of the third. So I covered the A's. But I didn't. I pushed that full game 9. I cashed the first 5 over. But shout out to waffle play of the day. Sun Diesel says people were wagging their fingers at me when we were down 50. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. And Josh Lower saying Knicks money line's a wrap. And Josh went off on us, on Jose and I, for being on the Mets. Couldn't believe it. Was gobsmacked. Laughed at us for being on the Mets. Couldn't believe it. Now, we just barely got out of there with the W. That's by the skin of our teeth. It was not a relaxing win. So, Josh, it was very, very tight. It wasn't like a sit back, relax, cash, and go. All right, let's roll. Let's bring on your star of Fridays, coming to us from Canada's Steel Town, Canada's black and yellow, Hamilton, Ontario. Please welcome Mr. Ian Cameron to the show. Bobano, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. I just want to say, though, because Dylan Turnsey, as we like to call him, is not only a big part of the Betting with the Bag family, but he's been a supporter of my hockey show all these years as well, the Ice Guys. So a great man. This is unbelievably heartbreaking to see what has happened with his son. Let's support him. Donate. I've retweeted what you posted, Jimmy. He's a great guy. He deserves our support. And win the fight. Win the fight.
He's going to be, his kid's still going to be a hockey star. Going to, Turnsy's going to have to, just because it's just so blindsiding. It's not in the family. You have no preparation for it.
It's not like mom and dad and grandma and grandpa had epilepsy in our family, and we have a way to foreshadow maybe something could develop. No, not in their case. Like there's no history of it. That's what makes it harder.
It makes it so much harder. But Turnsey leads by example, and Braden is his son's name. Braden, great young hockey player, a great kid, and we'll get this under control and get him into the NHL, and then we'll be able to really raise funds for epilepsy once Braden is a star hockey player in the NHL. Lamont Williams, 2 max bets, Cubs money line, and NBA Indiana -2, buying down Lamont Williams. All right, let's get that in here. Bobano, my friend, let's get to work. It's been a tough hockey season for you, but you delivered for us last Friday. 5-1, almost swept the board. The board in the Oilers game. And the only thing that was missed was that Dallas, Colorado over. Not too late to get hot. It is never too late to heat up. We've watched Bobano climb himself out of holes and shine after tough starts. Now, this one had lasted a little bit longer. Joey Harb, thank you so much. Just donating to Turnsey. Thank you so much. But it was great. So let's keep hot. Let's stay hot. Yep. Bobano coming in off a 5-1 day. We start Friday, May 17th this evening. 7 p.m. East, second round, game 6. Florida leading the series 3-2. Panthers were a very good road team. Boston was a good home team. And we've already talked. We are here to hear Bobano's breakdown on this because you guys know my plan of attack, and it's all being bet. It was bet 2 days ago. I can understand sharp action being on the Boston Bruins. You know, they're a team full of heart, full of character. Montgomery's a great coach. Emotes a little too much. You know, it's funny. I'll never have the opportunity to coach at a high level, but there would be zero emotion for me at all times. Nothing ever. I would try so hard not to show anything ever. I think it's important as a leader to not emote. Also in life, you can say anything to me. I mean that. Any horrifying anything. It's some strange. I'm not giving them 1 second of satisfaction by emoting anything. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get sad. I couldn't about what anybody has to say to me outside, but that's another point here. The Bruins are a very high character hockey team. Let's take a look at what we are dealing with on the odds. Are you serious? Okay. My odds page is down. I'll pull it up on a different site. So, Bobano, we're going to need market movement from you. The NHL site is down for me right now, but we're going to need market movement from you. We have Bobrovsky versus Swayman. Look, Swayman backing up his claim that we're coming back to Boston. That's what sports is all about. And Swayman has been absolutely spectacular. It's hard to believe that this 25-year-old's never started more than 5 games in a row before this postseason. We talked about how he's faced the most amount of shots in the league through the playoffs, 345, 933 save percentage, 2.16 goals against average. We called out McAvoy before the last game. What did he do? He stepped up in an enormous way. 6 shots on goal, 3 hits, 4 block shots, played 23-26. The team is all stepping up. I don't believe it's going to be enough. The Panthers didn't show up. They were outshot 17-7 halfway through the game. We just saw nothing from them. And this team is also got a lot of heart and character, and they're mean. And they want to go into Boston and ruin the party. I can understand so I don't have the line history, but I do have the cash flow. I imagine here that the Shark, it's sort of 35% of tickets, 39% of cash on the Bruins. 75% of the tickets, 70% of cash on the over. I've moved on 3 spots with confidence. I was surprised I could get the first period so cheap. I really was. So the market says Boston's at home and they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at the Panthers. Panthers are going to be all defensive. And I don't agree with the market. I do not think the Panthers should be cheaper in the first period. And I'm also on the first period under. So if that's the case, I did not want the Panthers on the -0.5 line. I love it, though. I love the bet. Slatsy's on it. First period -0.5 at +170. I took the -135. It was the same line at 365. And Pinnacle is 15 cents cheaper than the money line at the time. I was fine with it. I got the Panthers first period money line, full game -1, and the first period under 1.5. Take it away for us, Bobano, and please touch on the market movement. I'm going to try and get mine set up here. I don't know what the hell went down on the site, but the floor is yours, my friend. Tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern at the TD Garden.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually a little bit surprised we've got a game 6. I mean, I thought Florida was going to finish it in game 5, but credit to the Boston Bruins. They finally played a good enough game to win. And what I mean, not a great game, but it was certainly better than we saw, in some of the other games where, look, there was times where they had 10 shots on goal with, 10 minutes left in the third period. That's just not putting enough pucks on goal. And there was a real concerted effort by the Bruins in game 5 the other night to get more pucks to the net. And you could already see in the first period, they had double-digit shots on goal for what felt like the first time since game 1. So definitely you give them credit for that. There was that push, and they ended up hanging on at the end. I thought Florida was really taking it to them in the third, but Swayman was immense again. They got the defensive stops when they needed them, and they hung on for the win. And now there's a little bit of hope for Boston, and they come into this game back home. Last time we saw them at TD Garden, they got off to a red-hot start, a 2-0 lead. Pasternak scored on the power play. Brandon Carlo added a goal to get up to a 2-0 Boston lead. There could be the return of their captain, Brad Marchand, who's a game-time decision. I think he's playing. I mean, all you have to do is look and see that he practiced yesterday in full. So this scuttlebutt this morning at the morning skate that he's questionable and he's a game-time decision, he's going to play. I'd be shocked if he doesn't, especially after he practiced yesterday. The emotional lift that will give the Bruins, certainly, I think it will give the Bruins an emotional lift. I think I heard you say you're on the first period. It's a weird approach for me because I'm kind of against that, but not fully against that. What I'm on here is Boston to score in the first period. That's minus 125 at BetMGM. It is pretty much been a go-to bet for me in so many games where we've got the team that's either, well, not in this case, lost the previous game, but team facing elimination, coming out strong early. Even last night, look at the way it was with or a couple nights ago. We've seen teams that face elimination. They end up scoring that first goal, get on the board early. First round, it was a very good angle. I think that's the way to go here is Bruins to score in the first period. But I'm turning around after cashing Boston early. My belief once again, and it's been this way the whole series, and it was this, let's be honest, it was this way in Game 5 as well, where, yes, Boston had the lead. Boston had the strong first period, the strong start. But Florida did get better. Florida did get stronger in Game 5. Their downfall was, I thought their passing and just the playmaking and the crispness and the fluidity and the offensive execution was not there. You know, when they had their chances, they were either fanning on the shot, passing in the zone was a little off the mark, and it ruined the possibility to have a great scoring chance. There were a couple of prime opportunities for Hagee and Tkachuk and Reinhart, and they would just miss the net, shank the shot a little bit. Like they were generating, but just the final, you know what they say in soccer, the final touch, it just wasn't there when you miss a chance to score a goal. That's what it was for Florida in Game 5. The final touch of the puck just was not there for them in so many instances, and that played a big part in them losing that game. I think the offensive precision will be a little bit finer, a little bit sharper tonight. So while I like Boston to get on the board early, minus 125 to score a goal in the first at BetMGM, we're also going to take the Florida Panthers here in the full game on the team total. Is how we're going to go about it. So Florida Panthers team total, which you can get over 3 at minus 105 at BetMGM right now. Again, you can get 3.5 at a plus price. I don't want to lay minus 160 on 2.5. So the happy medium is over 3, minus 105. I think Boston starts strong. I don't know about get a lead after the first period. I'm just saying score a goal in the first period, which I think they will. I think Florida will get stronger, and unlike maybe Game 5, the pressure will be too. Swayman he'll be good again, and I worry about because Swayman's not good right now. But I think this time they're going to dent him a few times, and I can't ignore the fact that Florida has been a response team all season and in these playoffs after a loss. You look at Game 4 against Tampa Bay; they missed that chance to close out the series in a sweep. What did they do in Game 5? Pummeled Tampa Bay 6-1. Series over. You look at the other loss they suffered in these playoffs. Game 1 against Boston. What did they do in Game 2? 6-1. A beatdown for the Panthers over the Bruins. So they're 2-0 off a loss, and they won both of those games off a loss by the exact same score, 6-1. So I do think after they might give up a goal early, maybe start a little slow. Boston rides the momentum of the crowd and the emotion of the crowd and the return of their captain, but I think Florida gets better as the game goes on, and I like Florida team total over 3. Minus 105, along with that, Bruins to score in the first period, minus 125. That's my approach for Game 6.
You are locked in here, Bobano. Shout out to our guy, WT, says the Taormina Leche girls send their love to Pete and myself with the $10 dono to bless our action on a Friday. Thank you, WT. My guy, it means a ton. Thank you for your support since day one. It means a ton. Bobano on the first period, team total over for the Bruins, minus 125, and Panthers team total over 3. And I am on the Panthers first period at -135, the Panthers full game -1 at +114, and Florida Boston first period under 1.5 at -120. Right now, we've had a no real movement, just the tightening of the VIG. Pinnacle, Florida opened up at -146, they're -144. And Boston opened up at +129, and now +130. So just a little VIG tightening. No,
2 in a row, too, for the Bruins scoring in the first period. They scored in Game 4, Game 5 in the first period as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that first 4 or 5 minutes, they're going to be. I just don't fear this Bruins team now. Geeky, Pasta. I mean, Marchand coming back. Is going to be inspiring. I don't know if that is all enough. What has happened though is this total has moved 4 cents towards the under. It opened over 5.5 at +107. Now it's over 5.5 at +112. And that's the situation. I think for me, it's simple. And I like that in NHL and NBA. I like it in the playoffs when I find something simple. What happened for me was the Panthers were just embarrassed. And that's, we've watched them bounce and hammer in situations like this. You spoke of that Game 2 victory. So that's, we talked the same deal with Denver going into Minnesota in Game 3. But Bruins first period, team total over a half for Bobano, and I'm just heavily invested in the Panthers. So we roll on. Next up for us is 10 p.m. Eastern. This is the one I want to talk about. This is the lone game because we are also going to talk about Saturday night action. But this is the game that I just haven't been able to move on. Let's talk about 10 p.m. Eastern. I got my line history page rolling. Stars were a spectacular road team all season long, have been a spectacular road team in the playoffs. So we know their story. We know what they did in Las Vegas in Games 3 and Games 4. And what they did in Colorado in Games 3 and Games 4. We know, we get it. Colorado losing Nichushkin and then having Taves sick was just a double whammy that they couldn't handle. And then they, on the road, showed their heart. And it was Makar leading the way. He was absolutely spectacular. We went over all of his stats yesterday, and they're phenomenal. 20 goals in 71 games. So just Coffey, Leach, or Dennis Potvin, McInnes, and Reinhart have done it in less games. 1.11 points per game in the playoffs. Only Bobby Orr has a higher from defenseman. And then Nate McKinnon scored that last goal. It's so important. The one thing that surprised me watching the game was this was the first time watching Dallas where I thought, you know what? The winner of the Oilers-Canucks series can win games against this team and take them possibly. That was the first time I felt that. Now, you need to judge that on more than one game, but watching them without Rupee Hintz, even though he hadn't stepped up, it was a big loss for them. And I know that Jamie Benn is playing the best he's ever played. But Rupee Hintz you need his speed and toughness on that first line. Now, Joe Pavelski got off the mat and showed something. But I honestly, I want to back home teams late in series. And with Hintz out, now, do we have confirmed that Rupee Hintz will not be playing tonight, Bobano?
Last I checked, he was going to be a game time decision, but it's up in the air, I believe, still, last I checked.
And there's our guy Turnsey in the house. Love you, Turnsey, and thank you, man. Yep. Thank you for the kind
still
words.
Up in the air. We don't know for sure.
Steve G says Ben is a clown. Look, I've always felt that. We know why he was picked in the 5th round and not top 10 pick overall. We all know. Look, I've been with the things he said about Sedin's 10 years ago. With all we talked about all of these things that he's done. Yeah, look, I get it, but he is playing hard out there. He's hitting hard. He's winning 65% of his faceoffs. I mean, it's to the point now where what else can you ask of him? What more can he do? I mean, he's really laying it on the line. Really, really laying it on the line. Clint, thank you for the kind words. Gift the Cartel in the house. Slatsy. So I do not think he is going to play Rupee Hintz. And Turndy's saying if you like Colorado tonight, you may as well bet them to win the series. I don't feel that way. I think the home team in Game 7s has a huge advantage. I think the home team
I
in
think
Game
so.
6.
I think it's Dallas in 6 tonight or Dallas in 7. I still think they win this series. I do.
I do. So I'm close to moving on Colorado tonight.
Yep.
That's it. Tonight. I'm very close to doing it here. The fans are going to be going bananas. McKinnon's going out like gold, but I haven't done it yet. So obviously so I want to hear Bobano breaking it down. Let's go over the line history. 6.5 down to 6. Total wise, I lost that first period under with 0.6 seconds left. Last game, it hurt about as much as losses hurt. Then from a money line standpoint, Colorado has gone from -117 to -113. Stars have gone from +104 to +102. So there hasn't been very much movement. In the cash flow situation here, which isn't that important to me in NHL, but 81% of tickets, 73% of cash on the over, and it's dropped a half goal, now down to 6. And on the money line, 39% of tickets and 50% of the cash are on the Dallas Stars. So you guys heard my breakdown yesterday, and it wasn't a concise, angle-driven breakdown. I just kind of set up the game, and I apologize for that, but I am not coming in here, driving to the paint, wanting to dunk. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I've been sitting here for longer. Steve G says Hintz doubtful. Again, I do not believe that Hintz will play, and I really do think that kind of puts a line through the Shushkin loss. And then what's the biggest advantage? The fact that the Stars can run 4 lines, or the fact that the Stars are a great road team, or the fact that the Avalanche are home in Game 6? That's what I have to decide here. Take it away, Bobano. 10 p.m. this evening, West second round, Stars Avalanche.
Excellent game. I think so. You know what? More than anything, I'm totally off the side. I want nothing to do with the side. And plus, I've got Dallas to win the West and Dallas to win the Stanley Cup. And like I said, I'm involved with that. There's no reason to get involved from a side perspective in this series. I think it's very telling, though, that Colorado's only -120. It's like that's usually a bargain for Colorado at home, but then again, they're 0-2 at home in this series, and they're facing a damn good road team in the Dallas Stars. We'll see how this one plays out here. From a side perspective, like I said, it's really tricky. Colorado, look, we were waiting to see, would they show some heart, show some fight, show the will of a champion, because Game 4 was a complete disaster for them. It really was. It was terrible what we saw from Colorado in Game 4. And I know they just got hit with the Nichushkin news, and they didn't have Taves either. And having Taves back was night and day. Look at the difference having Taves back in Game 5. Taves was not only good in Game 5, but the guy that took his spot in Game 4, Caleb Jones, was a horror show. He took 2 penalties. He was out of position. Defensively, he was terrible. And then so that was a big problem too in Game 4. But they got Taves back. They had 48 hours to digest just their teammates sewering their team again with his actions off the ice, and they responded, particularly Nate McKinnon and especially Cale Makar. They responded. They took it on them that we stunk in Game 4. It's not just individually, but as a team, and they both had a heck of a Game 5. Here's the concern, though. Jared Bednar rode those 2 guys right into the ice in Game 5. They played like 30 minutes. That's unheard of, to play that long, in one game. 30 frickin' minutes of ice time just about in Game 5 for both of those guys, McKinnon and Makar. So the question becomes, how much gas do they have left in the tank, going into a game like tonight for the Colorado Avalanche? So like I said, that would be concerning when you're talking about guys playing, 25, not quite 30, but it was 25, 26 minutes for both McKinnon and Makar. That's huge ice time. That's a lot. And now you've got this quick turnaround. You're playing in the altitude. You're playing in the thin air, man. That's something I thought of in the back of my mind, just how much Jared Bednar rode his horses, in Game 5 to get that game, to get that win, to extend the series. And that would be the one concern I'd have with Colorado. But I don't question their resolve. You can't anymore after what we saw from them in Game 5. So I think from a side perspective, this is exactly where this should be priced. I think you can make a case for Colorado. You can make a case for Dallas because they've been such a good road team, and they're 2-0 in the road in this series. I like over 6 here. minus 120. So that's the bet for me. I think in this game here, elimination game, I think Colorado too, especially being at home, knowing that, hey, we can't start slow. We can't be held. We can't just have 2 shots on goal in the first period like we did in game 4. I think that'll be a different approach for them. I do think there's a chance they get the first goal of the game. And if that happens, it's good for the over, and it sets up a completely different game flow, because we have seen evidence in this series that when Dallas has the lead, it's difficult as fuck for Colorado to do things 5-on-5. Even though, and let's be real, Dallas, when they had the lead in game 5, even though they lost that game, you say, well, they didn't hold a lead there. It was power play goals that got Colorado going. It wasn't 5-on-5. So that's the important thing to point out. Their power play is awesome. We know that. And Dallas had trouble with it. But 5-on-5, Colorado still had some issues. And they're going to have issues at 5-on-5 offensively without Nichushkin. That's just the way it's going to be for them, especially when Rantanen's not played a phenomenal series. They haven't gotten consistency from much of the bottom 6. Like I said, this is a tough game to call from a side perspective, but at 6 instead of the 6.5, I do like the over here. Over 6 -1. Actually, it's minus 115 at Bet Online.
Well, minus 115. Okay, so let me change that. Yeah, I with the Avalanche, I don't feel like unders are never safe with the Colorado Avalanche. They're never safe, and their power play has changed without Nichushkin.
No,
they're not scoring goals from 4 feet away. They're scoring goals from just above the hash marks. Their power play is still so scary. So it's nothing changed there.
Oh, it still is. Look, especially with Makar. The thing is, without Nichushkin, Makar is shooting more.
Yeah,
we saw it, of course, in Game 4 when he has that rifle shot. 5, I should say, Game 5, that rifle shot. Under the crossbar, no chance for Jake Ottinger. One thing though about another concern for Colorado tonight is Jake Ottinger's bounce back ability off a loss. He has been absolutely tremendous off a loss for years now, and he knows that one goal he gave up in the third was a soft goal. So we'll see if Ottinger can bounce back.
I love the breakdown.
Yep.
I love the breakdown. I don't have any concern with Makar and McKinnon because it's the second round series, and also because they're not banged up. That's the bigger concern for me is not playing 30 minutes a game. It's dealing with the injuries, and they're not banged up. I mean, if anything, McDavid is taking way more hits than McKinnon has. I'm not concerned about, like, if we're questioning why McDavid's not showing up, we can talk about those hits wearing him down, even though he pretends he loves it. We can't with McKinnon. So I think I figured it out for me. Frank moving confidently on the Stars for a dime. I think that the Avs ride the crowd and deliver here. But
here's the thing, though, with that.
Yeah.
About Georgiev just needs to be better than Ottinger like last game. I don't trust Georgiev to be better than Ottinger 2 games in a row. I just don't. No,
but I'm not nearly as trusting of Ottinger as I was last year. So even when he had these ridiculous numbers, we talked about, and it was a great call by Billy Friedrich. And Billy Friedrich finds these huge bombs, and you don't need to bet much on them to get a huge score. He took Ottinger to win Conn Smythe at like 25-1, and I didn't move on it because he's just not. I still have a bias of what I saw during the regular season. I'm still not sold like we were last year. In saying all this, I don't think it makes Frank moving on Dallas. I'm with Billy here. If I'm going to take the Avs, I think I go for the score on the -1 line. I don't think I just take the money line. I'd rather see an offensive explosion from them riding the crowd. I'd rather go for the score than not. So I've still got to sit with this game. Bobano on the over 6 at -115. I'm leaning toward the Avs. Obviously, Frank confidently moving on the Stars for a dime is very concerning. Joe, for you, 4-3 Stars in his opinion. I'm basing this on.
That's confidence right there. Not only saying I'm on the Stars, throwing out there for a dime, like that's confidence.
Oh, Frankie's been crushing it. Frank's the real deal. He's been crushing it in the chat. So yeah, he doesn't mess around. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this, but I'm certainly leaning towards the Avalanche at home here in Game 6.
Yeah, over 5.5 for the alt total, Matty Ice. Absolutely. I mean, 5.5 in a Colorado home game is, like I say, if you can go with that if you want. I endorse that.
Robert Martin says the Avs will play their advantage in this game with the altitude, fast pace. Stars get gassed in third. Thoughts, Jimmy? Look, we've seen DeBoer run 4 lines all year long. This team is built. The Stars are built for this situation. So I getting gassed in third period wouldn't concern me about that. And then the question is, if I just take the Avs on the money line, would then I want to put something together with a McKinnon goal or with a McCarr or something like that to because I really think McKinnon scoring late is going to be important for his confidence. So I've got more to do here, but I tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to put like $300 on the Avalanche at -115 or -120. It just doesn't. I don't find that appealing. I think if you're going to take the Avalanche to keep this alive, then get rewarded for it. I would rather go for a bigger score and push than not here in tonight's game. So this is going to take more time. I'm interested in McKinnon and McCarr props, which is something I don't do, and I wouldn't be betting a full unit on either of those. I would tie it together with the Avalanche money line. Bobano has moved on the over 6 at -115. That concludes Friday breakdowns. Bruins first period team total over 1/2 at -125 for Bobano, and Panthers team total over 3. I got the Panthers first period at -135. I've got the Panthers -1 full game at +114, and I've got the first period under 1.5. And where did I get that at? I can't at -120. Under 1.5 -120. I'd be just very curious to see what that is right now. If that's moved, I hope it has. Yes, moved to -130. That's good. Okay. All right, let's roll on to Saturday night action. Ooh-wee. Maybe America doesn't care about Vancouver, Edmonton on Saturday night, but the whole country of Canada will be locked in to this telecast. Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, 30 years since the Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup. Got to go back to that Montreal Canadiens 1993 squad, the Marty McSorley illegal stick. That's how long we got to go back. And there's a lot of excitement around these two hockey teams. We're at Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have, line history here for Saturday night action. And I've already moved on it. I think the one thing that was shocking was the fact that the Oilers were +150 to win the series. I told you guys before yesterday's show, I could not fathom that the Canucks were +160 to win the series or +125 to win at home. I don't get it. I mean, it's like, are you guys not watching the games? If McDavid and Draisaitl don't both at the same time play their very best hockey game, the Oilers aren't going to win. And when they both at the same time play their best hockey team, then the Oilers will win. And we watched McDavid no-show again last night. This line opened up this morning at Pinnacle with Edmonton at -191. I went through all of the books. There was a very slight move towards Pinnacle, and I mean 15 books. The very slight move towards the Canucks at some of the books, not here at Penny. On the total here, we have a 6 -119 to the over. Here's another line that hasn't moved. So we have not, this it's only been out for 4 hours, but we've had no movement whatsoever. Let's get into the X's and O's here. There's no point to look at cash flow. It just came up. So Sheloves has been really good. 2.62 goals against average, .907 save percentage, 1 shutout. And then we have Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner. I don't know if you want to risk here. Sorry, let's get this moved over. I don't know if you want to risk your job over a decision like this. But don't you have to find out here whether you want Stuart Skinner in the building next year? So I would start Stuart Skinner here. I don't know if they're going to do it. And it's not because Pickard is being bad. 2.21 goals against average, .915 save percentage. If they decide to stay with Pickard, look, I get it. But I would start Stuart Skinner in this hockey game to find out whether or not he'll ever wear an Edmonton Oilers uniform again. Now, again, you could say that's a ridiculous thing. It could cost you your job. Do you want, these are tough decisions that have to be made, but that's what I would do.
And remember, the last time Edmonton, if they changed goalies, the last time they did it, they rallied around it. And remember when Pickard joined the series, they won. So keep that in mind.
Yes, a taint play of the day is in, and Slatsy going back to those good old days with Vinny Damphus and the Habitant. I've copied and pasted the taint play of the day, but let's keep talking about this giant game on Saturday night. The Canucks special teams, the penalty killing has been strong. They finally completely shut down, and I mean completely shut down Edmonton's power play last night. But their power play now at 17.2%, it is a problem. It's been a problem for the second half of the season. It's been a problem in the playoffs. Edmonton's power play still hitting at 40% despite being shut down in the last game. JT Miller is the heart and soul of the Canucks. He was voted as the MVP, as he should have been. The Pedersen talk at the beginning of the year was blasphemy. If you want to say that Quinn Hughes is their captain leader, that's great. I agree. He's amazing. He's phenomenal. But the heartbeat of this hockey team is JT Miller. He scores with 30 seconds left. So a bunch of forward lines were changed by Rick Tocchet. He just keeps pressing the right buttons. What a phenomenal job Tocchet has done. And the Canucks just outplayed the Oilers. They outshot them 24-12 over the final two periods, outscored them 2-0. It's Draisaitl who's been the best Oiler in this series, not McDavid. Draisaitl extending his Stanley Cup playoff opening point streak to 10 games. Just passed Esa Tikkanen for 6th in Edmonton history, the 4th player in the last 25 years to open the playoffs with a point streak of at least 10 games, 21 points, 8 goals, 13 assists. We're not talking about McDavid. We're talking about Draisaitl. McDavid just didn't look very good. You know, he held off the score sheet. So there's 2 of the last 3 games. He hasn't scored a point. He just doesn't have that quick twitch fear anymore. 1 assist in 3 games. He had that 4-point game in game 2, but he hasn't been around since. Pickard made 32 saves. He looked great. So this power play, you know, that's 5 for 10 against the Canucks, scored in each of the first 4 games, got stopped. But Vancouver going 0 for 4 on their power play is a problem. Edmonton only got 3 shots on goal. I mean, Tocchet and the boys have come up with a great defense for that power play. And it's the role players that win you cups. It's the role players that win you series. Now, you need your best players to be your best players. But DiGiuseppe, you know, he'd missed 2 games with a difficult pregnancy for his wife. His son, Sam, is born, and he comes in and he scores a goal. Vancouver, and we know teams in 7-game series if you win game 5. In the NHL, you're 231-61 in the series. And Vancouver, 3-1 in these opportunities. Only 3-1, you may ask? Yes, only 3-1, which is shows you how many playoff opportunities these knuckleheads have had. With this all said and done, for me, this is slam dunk time. This is the Oilers take control. I moved on the -1 line. I think it's a comfortable victory for the Oilers. I took a long look at that team total over 3.5. I should probably bet that too. I haven't yet, but I have made a big bet on the Oilers. This is smash and grab. This is all hands on deck. This is the most important game of Draisaitl McDavid's career. Etc. I'm on the Oilers -1. Take it away for us here, Bobano. Saturday night action. Canucks, Oilers, Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta.
Yeah, I'm on not that, but something similar, and it's something I cashed with in Game 4 with Edmonton. First period puck line, Edmonton Oilers. -0.5, plus 146 at Pinnacle is the price on that. I think that's a great look. I think a -1, I can't fault that. Feels like Edmonton plays a lot better. I think they win. I do. I still hate the money line price that we keep getting on Edmonton. Like it's -190 at home with them for a series where Vancouver's arguably been better for longer in this series, and especially they were last night. So, but I do think that first period you're going to get Edmonton coming out strong, backs against the wall time. And I think this becomes an even better look, this first period puck line, if they turn to Stuart Skinner, and he comes back in net for the Oilers. Because, look, he's done a nice job, Pickard. You know, he wasn't really tested in Game 4, so you can't give him too much praise. But last night, they didn't even have a chance. The only reason they have a chance to still win that game in the third period is because of Bill Pickard. He was very good. 30-plus saves in the game. I don't think there was anything he could do with much of the shots that beat him, the 3 that beat him. Maybe the Soucy goal in the first period was one maybe off the angle a little bit. It was a nice shot, though. Maybe he could have had that, but he couldn't have had couldn't have done anything about the other two. This is about you've invested so much time in Stuart Skinner, and you've made him your number one goalie pretty much for the last 2 seasons for the most part, other than when Jack Campbell started briefly at the start of last year, and then there was a time earlier this year when he was injured. But for the most part, Skinner's been your guy, and I know he's had a rough series. There's no question about that. But I think in the spot like this, team's backs against the wall, you need to do everything as a coach to get your team locked in. And I think Skinner starting gets them locked in because I think they do like the guy. How can you not? The guy, when you listen to him talk, he's such a nice guy. He is. It's never about him. He's always willing to take the blame when he doesn't play well. He never throws anybody under the bus. You want to go to the war for a guy like that. And I think if they turn to Skinner, even though there's questions about his performance in this series, rightfully so, he hasn't been good. I think not only does he play better and step up, the time off helps him get some rest, refocus, but I think they do everything humanly possible to play that kind of tight, strong defensive approach that we saw from the Oilers in winning Game 4 at home when they rallied around Pickard in that game and they made life easy on him. I think they'll do everything they can to make life easy on Stu Skinner tomorrow night in this game if they make that goalie change. But either way, I think it's good situationally to look at Edmonton early to come out with that good start. So Oilers first period puck line for me.
What was the number that you got on that first period?
Plus 146.
That's a nice look here. Oilers first period puck line. Nice look.
Which cashed in Game 4.
Why are you not on the Oilers team total over 3.5? I thought you would be on it.
I think it's because of the way Game 4 went, Jimmy. That's why. They got the lead, puck line cashed, and I did have a small piece of Edmonton team total in that game, but they didn't hit 4 goals. It was kind of park the bus, Jimmy, with the lead, and let's protect Pickard, and let's not, open things up and make them vulnerable to all these high danger chances. I think that could be the approach here, especially with Skinner back in net, knowing he struggled. Let's help the guy out. Let's block these shots. Let's, keep everything to the outside. Let's collapse toward the front of the net to help out Skinner and make his job easier on him in Game 6. And if that's the case, I could see a game flow similar to Game 4 where it is 1-0 Edmonton. They do get that fast start. They do get on the board. They do lead after the first period, but they don't get to the 4 mark because they're more concerned about protecting the lead and playing conservative defensive hockey to help out a struggling goalie than adding on and piling on and get into the 4 goals that you need because they didn't get there, obviously, in Game 4. So that would be my concern, essentially, with the team total.
I'm going to move on it. I'm going to move on the Oilers team total over 3.5. I also think if I did want a little SGP action, just wreck, I wouldn't tweet it out. I would take, for a big score, Oilers first period -0.5, Oilers team total over 3.5, and Oilers money line or puck line. And then you could add McDavid, but I'm not going to add McDavid. Even though I expect him to show something, I'm not going to add the player props. The player props I would add in anything would be for Makar and McKinnon. Makar and McKinnon. That's our Saturday night breakdown of Canucks Edmonton Oilers. Bobano on the Oilers first period -0.5 at plus 146. I've already bet the Oilers -1, and I got that at -125. I'm going to add the Oilers team total over 3.5, and that, my friends, is our NHL breakdown for Saturday, May 18th. We move on to the hardwood. Before we do, if Mel can't see the chat, because I know she's not being blocked, we love her, and I've looked at who's being blocked just to make sure that there's no, because JPZ, he's not being blocked. JPZ's, we don't know why, but if she can't see the chat at all, it means that she's got to get the chat up on her screen. If you can't see the chat, the problem is not being blocked. It's that you need to, I forget what you have to click to get the chat up, but there's a button you have to press to have the chat up. You can hide the chat. So she's got to get that chat up. All right, here we go. We move on to NBA here for Friday, May 17th. Let's get to work. We have the East semifinals game 6. I've been working with these with this game for a long time. 8:30 p.m. East semifinals of game 6. Knicks, Pacers, Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. I've had a real tough time getting towards the Pacers. I've been trying to. BJ gave us his best bet yesterday on the Pacers -5. I've been trying to get there, but I've had a problem. They just don't have junkyard dogs on their basketball team. And I thought maybe if we talked it out again. Troy told me that he didn't have the conviction to back the Knicks, and I don't know if I have the conviction to back the Pacers. Let's take a look at the line history here and the cash flow and see what the plan is and hear from others in the chat. BJ is bullish that these Pacers come to play, and judging by the market, he has every reason to be. It's the market probably that is the most appealing part of the Pacers. Right now, we have this opening up at 5. It got up to 6. That was, and 6.5. That was wild. That threw me for a loop. Then it got back to 5.5. We still have a half-point move towards the New York Knicks. And on the total here, we have a 215 -108. This opened up at 217, a 2-point move towards the under. We take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 63% of tickets and 62% of the cash on the New York Knicks. That's what was so appealing watching the market move towards the Pacers. Now, there is money coming in on the Pacers now, but this was at 27 and 28% for a long time. On the total, you have 86% of tickets and 86% cash on the over, and yet it's moving towards the under. Coin saying that Indiana 5-0 at the crib in these playoffs. Billy Friedrich liking the Pacers first half team total over 57 at -115. Vitalis in the house. Great to see you, Vitalis. So here we go. These New York Knicks, they are shooting very similar numbers, a little better in the series than they have in the playoffs. We broke it down yesterday, so I'm not going to get too into the breakdown, but we saw what went down with the Knicks. They stopped playing Hartenstein and Achua together. They only played together for about 6.5 minutes of the game. We talked about that when Anunoby first got hurt. That was going to be the big problem, is that if you have Hartenstein and Achua at the 4 and 5, there's not going to be enough offensive creativity, and you're going to struggle there. Look at that. Prince of the City in the house. It's been too long since we've seen Prince of the City, man. It is great to see you. Tori Coker says Knicks will win. Knicks will win, says Tori Coker. Knicks will win. Sorry. Andrew G says the entire world is on the Pacers, so I'm off. Now, don't get the entire world confused with the cappers around you. That's important. It's so important because, yeah, you could say my colleagues, all the guys I'm working with are on the Pacers. But remember, we went over the ticket count and the cash count, and more tickets are on the New York Knicks. Going to small ball, starting McBride, everything changed. We talked about New York's defense and how it was going to, fall off without Anunoby. This defense wasn't good with Anunoby in the playoffs. If you study the stats, I mean, they were 15th out of 16 playoff teams with Anunoby. I'm not going to say that they're going to be better defensively without OG on the floor. I don't mean that, but it's not like they were delivering, with Anunoby on the court. The reason why the Knicks have been dominating is that Miles Turner doesn't have an answer for Hartenstein. Now, Miles Turner can hit some big threes, and he's a finesse 33-year-old, but Hartenstein is doing all of the dirty work, getting all of the offensive rebounds, creating all these extra opportunities. Vanessa says, are we worried about the cash? Markel says, aren't we worried about the cash besides the amount of tickets? Yeah, it's the exact same number, Markel. Again, if you guys missed it, it's the exact same number. So on the spread, we have 63% of tickets and 62% of the bets. So there's no difference there, like I'd mentioned. So here we go, Bobano. The floor is yours. I keep finding it difficult to back the Pacers, but I'm not far away from it. I'm not far away from backing them. I have not been for 36 hours. It's one thing giving a pick out. It's another thing betting it. Can I bet it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Take it away here for us, Bobano. East semifinals, game 6, Knicks Pacers.
Yeah, I've figured it out pretty easily. It's Indiana team total for me. I don't worry about the defense that way, which I don't trust all the time for Indiana. Because look, Indiana's going to win games and cover point spreads. They're not doing it with their defense, okay? Because they're not that great a defensive team. They're doing it by their offense getting going, getting out in transition, fast break points, quick easy baskets off the turnovers, setting up before the defense does. That's the key to Indiana's success. So if they're going to cover this game, it's going to be by scoring points and scoring a lot of points. And that's the way I see it. And like I said, I expect this series to go to the distance. I always thought that when it got to 2-2 going back to New York. And I still believe that. So I think it's Knicks in 7 when it's all said and done. I think that's what we're going to see. Knicks will win Game 7 at Madison Square Garden, and they'll move on to face the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final. But again, you expect a big game from Halliburton. You expect Siakam to play well. You expect Nesmith and some of the supporting cast, Nembhard, to really get going now that they're back on their home floor here as well. So, and by the way, we saw the Knicks get blown out, totally thrashed, embarrassed in Game 4. They bounced back at home and blew out the Pacers. Now it's the Pacers' time to respond after getting blown out in Game 5 in New York, now that they're back home. And they've been excellent at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse here in the playoffs. So, yeah, over 110.5 for me, minus 110 with the Indiana team total.
Pacers team total over 110.5. What was the juice?
Just minus 110.
Well, I find the Pacers early more appealing. I think it's funny. With the Knicks showing so much heart and character all year, I found it so easy to put a line through the Game 4 performance and back him in Game 5. It was just as easy as could be. I'm having a tougher time doing that with the Pacers, and maybe I got to get over it. Leonard Porsche Jr. says he'd be lying if he said he wasn't scared about Operation Garcia for this game. This series has not been very good to us in Operation Garcia. Again, for those of you late to the party, that's just taking every single player prop on the under. Jarek Wright says, ride with this first quarter with me. I'm interested. I don't want to triple up, but I'm certainly interested. Nasty Nate on the Knicks second corner. Lit Pick says Hartenstein under 10.5 boards. Hasn't covered this number on the road in this in playoffs yet. Fade what we just saw. I like that, Lit Picks. I got no problem with that. Fanatical Dim says Pacers relying too much on their jump shot will kill them. Turner shooting 7 threes won't be sustainable. Turner's got to get into the dirty areas and bang. He's got to bang with Hartenstein. It's badly. I still feel like I'm on my way to the Pacers. I still expect to bet the Pacers first half and full game. And, that's my expectation. My dude says, no way I'm Operation Garcia on this game. No way. I am. I'm not going to play God on these spots. And Frank is all over the Pacers. Yeah, no, I feel you. Frank and BJ all over the Pacers. I think I get there on first half and full game. I like the Pacers first quarter, Jarek. I like it. It makes sense. I do not want to triple up. And I do like trying to run the Knicks into the ground, trying to get somebody in foul trouble. Know that they can't go deep in their rotation, although Alec Burks has stepped up in a big way. Okay. BJ says you're overthinking it, Jim. Nothing in here spot says Knicks win this game, including the market. Yeah, but if it's a close game, the Pacers can win it and not cover. But no, I look, I'm not deciding whether to bet the Knicks or not. I'm deciding whether to bet the Pacers or not. Let's move on to the big game on Saturday, May 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have the West semifinals, Game 6. Dallas leading the series 3-2. Oklahoma City Thunder 57-25. Good road team, 24-17 on the road. Mavericks 50-32 were a great road team this year. Not that good at home, 25-16. American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. The one thing that is the same in basketball and hockey is it takes time to understand what it takes to win in the playoffs. And it takes about 10 years. And we see it in NHL, we see it in NBA. I don't believe the Thunder understand that yet. And that's why I was on the Mavericks in Game 5 and why I was on the Thunder in Games 3 and Games 4, because the pressure wasn't on them at that point. This pressure was still on Dallas to deliver. And I don't feel like the pressure is on Luka and Kyrie. I don't. They're getting that outlier performance. It was PJ Washington. Then it became Jones Jr. in the last game. Kyrie is not having to do too much, and you need Luka to deliver. And I've not moved on this yet. I wanted to kind of let the market, marinate for a little bit. We don't have a lot of time with this market. Let's talk about the situation right now. This total's at 209. It's minus 112 to the under. It opened up at 211, so we've already dropped 2 points. So that's telling you it's going to be a grinded out basketball game. Then we have Dallas at minus 4 at Penny. They opened up at minus 4 at minus 108. That's been a surprise watching the market. So we've had 10 cents of movement towards Oklahoma City. A lot of books have moved it down to 3.5. That has really caught me by surprise. Then when we get to the cash flow in this one, and it's early, but 3,816 tickets in already. We have 76% of tickets and 82% of the cash on the Dallas Mavericks, and the line's moving towards the Thunder. It surprises me. You have 87% of tickets, 82% cash on the over, and it's dropped 2 points to the under. Let's set these up, X's and O's, and hear what Bobano has to say about Saturday night action, Game 6, Thunder Mavericks. This series is being played at 94.6 possessions a game. It's right really in the wheelhouse of both teams. A little bit slower than what the Thunder want to play, and a little tiny bit faster than what the Mavs want to play, but not a big difference. The big issue here is OKC is not hitting shots. That's the thing statistically that will jump out. But when you watch the game, the big thing to me is that they're not tough enough. The Thunder are asking too much of Jalen Williams. They're just not, they can't bang. A Chet is just not big enough. We watched him go to the hole and get blocked, and he's playing his heart out. I'm not a Chet hater. I know a lot of people have been upset with how he's played in this series, but they're in 5 or 6 years when he fills out, maybe it's going to be different. But right now in the paint, they're just not causing a big enough problem. The Bulldogs are on the Dallas Mavericks. The vets are on the Dallas Mavericks. And we're seeing that come to fruition as the series gets dirtier and tougher and later and deeper. 43.8% from the field and 32.7% from three. So I thought there was no pressure on Oklahoma City and Dallas in Game 3 and Game 4. I think there's pressure on them in Game 6. Their season ends if they lose. I think it's a different take. So for these Mavericks, they're not shooting well from the field, 44.3, but they're shooting great from three, 38.3. And if you put a line through Doncic's numbers, they're shooting very well. So Luka goes for 31 in the triple-double. He plays through the sprained right knee, the sore left ankle. He was very good. 12 of 22 from the field, finally. 11 assists, 10 rebounds. His 6th career triple-double. Derek Jones, UNLV product, 19 points. That's what you need. You need the outlier performance so that it's not all on Kyrie and Luka. The talking heads were talking about that throughout the series. They were saying, there was never a point this year where Luka and Kyrie could combine for 40 points and the Mavericks could win a basketball game. Things have changed. Washington, another strong game, 10 points, 10 boards. Now, it's not the 25.7% that he averaged between games 2 and 4, but then Derek Jones Jr. came up for that. Kyrie's averaging 14.5 points in this series, shooting 45.9 from the field and 43.8 from three, just under 7 assists per game. I don't think he needs to do more because you're getting outlier performances. Other players are stepping up. So the Mavs did this in the first round. Should we expect it again in the second round? They went into LA, they went into crypto, they beat the Clippers, came home and took care of business. Shea goes for 30. Smooth, silky Shea. Who else? Nobody went for more than 13. Nobody. So Isaiah Joe being the Game 5 starter, did that work? Now you've hammered Giddey's confidence, and Isaiah Joe went 2 for 9 for 6 points in 22 minutes. Giddey actually played well. Went 5 for 8 for 11 points. Giddey's averaging 6 points per game. Look, I understand the idea of sitting him 38.5 from the floor and 18.2 from three. That's not good enough. But nobody shot from three in that game. Thunder went 10 of 40, and they haven't shot better than 45.7% from the field in the entire series. They haven't made more than 10 3-pointers in any of the last 4 games. they haven't scored over 26% from 3 in the last 2 games. So are we going to sit here and expect them to shoot better here? I'm surprised the market has moved towards the Thunder. Is this some sort of a head fake or a trap that the books want to lay? Because the line's been moving towards the Thunder, there's been no need to bet the Mavericks yet. But we got to see where this line finishes off, and we have to hear what Bobano has to say. Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas Mavericks, Game 6. Take it away, Bobano.
For me, it's very difficult actually now to trust the Thunder because I thought Game 5 was almost a must for them to get it. And when you start to look at the series, and if you start to, and this something I start to do in the NHL as well, who's won more periods in a series, or in this case, who's won more quarters in a series? Start to think Dallas has won more quarters in this series because the series actually could be over already. If not for Dallas just having that terrible second half at home in Game 4, where they had that double-digit lead at halftime and the Thunder came all the way back and they won. And I was grateful for that because that was one of my bigger bets of these entire NBA playoffs, was taking OKC in Game 4 to tie the series. But I was on Dallas in Game 5 plus the points. I figured they'd be better. Luka in particular would be better, and he was. And not only did they cover, they won the game. Now they got momentum, and I think there's an onus now on this Dallas team, and led by veterans like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, to, don't let this slip through your fingers like it did in Game 4. And make sure that if you start strong at home, which they have the potential to, don't let it slide in the second half and let OKC back into the game. So, and there's enough of that kind of, experience now to not let that happen, that you would think if Dallas does have a lead in the third quarter and fourth quarter of this game, there's a chance they're going to be able to nail it down against this young Thunder team, which is going to be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. This is going to be a perennial contender in the Western Conference if they keep this core together, and they've already had an amazing, amazing season. But I do think it probably runs out for them. I'm not involved. This is going to be a pass for me. I just don't love the number where it is, -4, but I would lean Dallas, and I could only look at the under as far as the total is concerned. We've seen this devolve into a low-scoring series, and I think now that we're into Game 6, and usually Game 6s and even more so Game 7s in this sport, usually it's low-scoring, defenses magnify. So no official plays, but lean Mavs, lean under.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move on both of those spots that you just spoke of. But I do want to, we see the total moving quickly towards the under, but this line move towards Oklahoma City Thunder, I just need to sit with a little bit longer. And we all I shouldn't say we all remember. One of the biggest stories of, if you're around my age, I'm 44, was when the Oilers lost their first Stanley Cup to the New York Islanders. This story, every hockey coach tells the kids this story when you're younger. They lost the Stanley Cup, and Gretzky peeked in to the Islanders' room expecting champagne and celebration, and they were beaten up and broken. They were getting massaged. They were limping around. And he was like, he was totally flabbergasted at what he saw in the room, because that's what it takes. And I feel like the Thunder will see after this game what it takes. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get there next year, but they sure are talented. Brent Cook says OKC +4 or stay off for him. BJ thinks it's a pump fake by the market, moving this towards the Thunder. I expect to be on the under and the Mavericks, but 3.5 sounds a lot nicer than 4, and 3 sounds even better than that. So we'll see how this all bangs out. Johnny, thank you. Johnny Guns, thank you so much for the kind words. I'm just so thankful to be a part of this community. It just gives me so much in life, getting to cap with you guys every day. It's so inspiring and so much fun. Thank you for the kind words. So we move on to our final NBA game before the entire MLB card is broken down. And this one, Sunday, May 19th. Game 7 between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. We are in Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. This is as big as basketball games get. The defending champions pushed to the brink. We will get the header up for this game here in a second by Jose. Let's talk about the spot. Let's talk about the line history. First off, we've got to move over to Sunday action. We've already heard from Troy Torrance in the chat. Troy Torrance is moving on his Minnesota Timberwolves. Take a look at the spread right now. We are sitting here with Minnesota plus 4.5 at minus 106. They opened up at 4. There's been a half-point move. This line came out at 12:13 a.m. Eastern time, and in the first 8 hours, it was a half-point move. Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't even see it. This moved to 4.5 within 29 minutes. There was a 2-cent move after about 7 hours. So that's where we stand with the spread. With the total here, we have Denver sitting right now at 197.5 for a total. That is absolutely wild. Opening up at 198.5, it's dropped a point to 197.5. Wow, that is absolutely wild. BJ says tough game, may just watch it and relax Sunday. So I think the worst case scenario for the Timberwolves was that the Nuggets were completely embarrassed again. I really do. The worst case scenario. Like the triple up that we bet on the Nuggets in game 3. Now, I don't know if we need to triple up here. I haven't, let's hear what the chat has to say about the spot. Let's hear what Bobano has to say about the spot. But I want Denver in game 7 at home, and this is a fair number. This series is played at 92.25 possessions a game, a little slower than both teams have played throughout the playoffs, but that's fine. They're both comfortable with it. Minnesota has shot the ball very well in the first round and in the second round. Consistent numbers. I mean, that's what we can expect from them. 48 from the field, 36 from 3. Denver has shot a little better than you would think. They've been completely embarrassed in 2 of these 6 games, and they're still shooting 46 from the field and 37.4 in the series. Ant Edwards is everything that you could hope for in a young star. He's got the confidence. He's got the swagger. He cares about the game. He wants to play all 82 games this season. He goes for 27. He delivers all of the knockout punches early. Jaden McDaniels, you get the outlier performance, goes for 21 and plays great defensively. He's so long and tough on the perimeter. Conley comes back, puts up 13. Gobert, Cat, and Naz Reid get rebounds. Battle. It was a great bounce back spot defensively for Gobert. He was a problem in the paint. Jokic only has 22 points. Jamal Murray, nowhere to be found. I mean, what happens with Jamal Murray if he's nowhere to be found in game 7? Now, he always steps up in situations like this. Why wouldn't he here? I believe he will here, but 4 of 18 from the field. The bench for the Nuggets was nowhere to be found. Now, that made us a lot of money in the Operation Garcia, but good God, the bench was outscored 36-9. That's a real problem. Aaron Gordon, 12 and 8. Nuggets shot 7 for 36 from 3. They were way behind all game long. 14 points in the first
quit
quarter.
too when they got way behind. Let's be real. They quit. I mean, they just knew game 7 was coming, and let's just get ready for Sunday.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah, no, I mean, it was a nice situation for them to be able to do that. But they still shot 7 for 36 from 3. I mean, all these are just the stats, right? I'm just telling you the stats situation. So the way I see it is if the Nuggets had have lost a nail biter, it would have been much better for the Timberwolves than to completely embarrass them yet again. So I think we'll see the champion team step up. I believe that everybody who's backed the Timberwolves throughout the series and who's on the Timberwolves is just going to back them again. That's part of the reason why I keep pushing the Undoing Project. Now this doesn't always work, that mindset, and it didn't work in the Hurricanes-Rangers game. Because I said, look at this line on the Rangers plus 140. Who in their right mind wouldn't want to bet this? Who would not want to bet? I mean, it's just screaming at you. It doesn't make sense. And I was driving back home yesterday before the games popped off, and on the radio, at Toronto radio, this guy who's, obviously he's not he's just a wreck gambler. He has a sports show. He's like, they're like, what's your play tonight? He's like, well, I couldn't believe the Rangers were plus 140. Of course, I have to bet the Rangers. And I was like, exactly. But that doesn't always work. Look, Rangers came back and won the game. So that mentality doesn't always work. But here, I'm going to back the Denver Nuggets, and I would be shocked if anybody who is on the Wolves all series long could get off of them here. And that's the mess that the subconscious does with us, is that you can't get off of something that's working or that you believe in. You can't. In Bobano talked about it when we talked about NHL playoffs. Sometimes you got to pivot off, and I have a tough time doing that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong for you guys who've been on the Timberwolves throughout the series to stay on them. Trust me, I'm not. But I'm saying that's a real problem, and that's why the Undoing Project by Michael Lewis is such an important book that I pushed everybody, because it helps you see these things differently. Take it away, Bobano. Game 7, Timberwolves Nuggets.
Yeah, this is a fascinating Game 7, but I'm not going to overthink it. Minnesota, credit to them, and that's exactly why I didn't take Denver last night, because everyone was saying everything was pointing toward Denver's grabbed control of the series. Minnesota has not been able to punch back. But I figured, Minnesota one last shot at it on their home floor in Game 6. Denver knowing they have Game 7 at home in their back pocket if need be. And I said, let's not take Denver, because I do think Minnesota will have their best response. Now, I did not see, obviously, them blowing Denver out like that, start to finish. You could tell in the first quarter that game was over early. It was just an outstanding performance by the Timberwolves. And they, more importantly, yes, Anthony Edwards was good, but he finally got a lot of support. Is that same support going to be there on the road in Denver against a Nuggets team that is just absolutely just, obviously that was a brutal game, blown out. They quit, in the third, fourth quarter when they fell that behind in the game. I think you're going to see a different Denver team. I'll go ahead and take them laying the points. Just full game. We'll take Denver here minus the 4.5 in this game. We've seen enough of this Nuggets team to know about their ability, championship pedigree-wise. And look, I stand by it. Jamal Murray really hasn't had a great game in this series. Is he really going to go 7 games without that prototypical Jamal Murray making every shot, making every big play in a critical game like this? We know he's a big-time player and a big shot maker. What a time for him to show that once again here, in Game 7 on Sunday, in a series when he really hasn't, consistently shown it. So Pinnacle has Denver -4, -115. That's what we're going to lock in. Denver -4 for Game 7, -115 at Pinnacle.
-4, -115. Tori talking about when was the last time a defending champion came out of the second round. Look, we talked about that right in the beginning of this series. It's been a long time. And the Lakers got swept out. Remember the other team, but they've all failed in this round. And look, Doug says the public will be all over the Nuggets. I don't know if that's the case. We don't know right now what's going on with the markets here. They're not. It's 2 days away. We don't know, but I don't think so. And the reason being is because people remember the recency bias and vividness bias are both huge issues. But I always think the recency bias is a little deeper than the vividness bias. And there's you could fight that. You could argue with me, and there would be a fine debate. You could say that vividness is much more because it's stuck with you. So, but for the gambling public, they think there's a changing of the guard, and it's the Minnesota Timberwolves and Ant. You just feel that way. And the Nuggets are, with Jamal Murray throwing the heat pack and being a baby in that game. He lost, or he fueled hatred against them. Stephen Hairston, our guy, great to see you, says Wolves pull it out. Mally Mouse says won't be betting, but we'll be cheering on the Wolves. Doug says people will back Jokic. I'm very interested to see the market. BJ says I do believe more tickets will be on Denver. We'll see though. It's going to be very interesting. Joe Yurkovich says the biggest home edge in the 4 major sports, Denver Nuggets. And Steve G says big edge to the champs in Game 7. One of the angles that my dad always bet was the home team in Game 7. Home team in Game 7. He just in NHL and NBA, home team in Game 7. Now, one thing that also was talked about by my dad all the time was how home ice in hockey and in home court in the playoffs is not well, basketball's a little different because home court is more important than home ice in the regular season. Home ice in the regular season is not a big deal, but you get to the playoffs and home ice is so important. Fans are going bonkers. It's electric. It's exciting. And the refs develop a bit of a bias. And the biggest bias, according to scorecasting, is Game 7 refs supporting the home team. The biggest bias in all that's their claim in that book, that's the biggest bias in all of sports is refs helping out the home team in a sold out Game 7 in their subconscious. So we'll see how it all bangs out, but I'm going to join.
Foster definitely does. I definitely believe that with him. Watch to see if he's maybe officiating this game.
Bobano on the Nuggets -4. Is this not incredible? What a weekend we have ahead of us.
Yep.
And this is for Sunday, Game 7, baby. Game 7. And we could have Game 7 of Knicks Pacers. We'll see. We will see. Bobano, excellent work, my friend. Thank you for rocking with us here Friday. Betting with the Bag of Pub Sports Radio. Coming off a 5-1 day in NHL. Bobano, we need you to stay hot, my friend.
Yep.
And thank you for sharing your wisdom and your angles and your thought process behind your action. Please support Bobano on X at Bobano Bets. Remember, it's a new X handle at Bobano Bets. And thank you. And of course, the Ice Guys support the Ice Guys. Bobano, any last words for the Capper Sporting Show?
It's a great weekend. It's a great weekend because all of these second rounds in the NHL and NBA were hitting 6 and 7. So Game 6s and Game 7. So it's the crux of these series. It's the climax, and it should make for some tremendous drama and theater and excitement all weekend long. So looking forward to it. Shout out to everyone in the chat at the like button. Jimmy, we'll see you next Friday. Good luck to you as well.
There he is, Ian Cameron. It is time to head over to the Diamond. Oh, God. Was that late loss to give me a losing day in baseball? Did that hurt me? We found our dogs. We had the Mets. We had the Pirates. We almost smashed the Astros-A's game. We thankfully got in live as well. But we've seen the board clearly all week long. Today is a very, very important day. Very, very, very important day to hammer the board. I've only got one bet in, but there's a huge, huge card for us to attack. So get ready. It's baseball time, baby. Take me out to the ball game. Please welcome the star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, home of the best bar in Texas, the Southtown 101 and Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome our guy, Mr. Jose Bouquett. Jose, how are you?
I'm concerned about what you were about to say, but I'm doing all right.
We've got to keep it business, man. I did edit there.
Yeah, I saw it in real time. It's nice to see everyone. Jimmy, you're right. The bets that get shit on the most are the ones that end up cashing. So it's very funny to see.
Yes, and spite bets. Never be afraid to bet something purely out of spite. My spite ROI is very good. Now, Plashan says, how about those Reds? You guys did a hell of a job. And I couldn't believe that I got, it's 1 a.m. and that goddamn swing. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. It's just, that was a tough swing, man. Tough swing. Mikey Money says Houston bounce back spot. And Mel, if you're out there, we will get this figured out because there are glitches with YouTube in the comment section. Mel, you are not blocked. Mel, we love you. We need to get you back. But if you can't see the entire chat, that's the problem. Got to get you.
Yeah, you can, Mel, I don't know if you're on Twitter, but if you have to, you can watch on Twitter. You can comment on Twitter's chat as well, I believe now.
Senior Bumps play today is the Cubs money line. Says, I think Hendricks builds on his last outing and gives a decent 4 or 5 innings. Cubs bats on Friday. Day game at Wrigley against a rookie pitcher and a weak hitting Pirates team. Copy and paste that from Senior Bumps here. Let's talk about a couple of the plays of the day, and then we'll roll into game 1. We have LJ from H10 on Brewers Astros over. We have Viper MB on the Cubbies money line. Phillies -1.5, Yankees -1.5, Atlanta -1.5, Dodgers -1. Then we have the Taint play of the day, which I thought I had copied and pasted. Here is it up here. We have Jay Smooth, Smooth Balls play of the day. Joey Ortiz hits plus Brewers money line. Lamont Williams max betting the Cubs money line. Interesting there. Do you have the Taint play of the day? Can you pop it up on?
Yeah, I've got it. I thought I had it. Yeah, it's right here. It's the under 8 in Detroit, Arizona.
Detroit, Arizona under 8. The dog. We have the dog spot from our guy Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet dog is the Angels, so it's the under 8 in the Tigers Arizona game at Chase here. So under 8. So Taint under 8. What was the juice on that under 8? Did he give it?
No.
Okay, under 8 is Taint. Okay, let's get to work here, and you'll be a little surprised with our friend Jose Bouquet's breakdown of Game 1. Let's go. 2:20 p.m. Eastern. The Pittsburgh Pirates 20-25, 11-13 on the road. At the Chicago Cubs 25-20, 13-7 at home. We are in Wrigley Field. Sweet Wrigley for afternoon baseball. Let's take a look at the weather here for Wrigley. Sorry, take me a second to get this up. And there we go. It is 69 Fahrenheit, 6.8 miles per hour at the left field. It gets up to 9.6 miles per hour. There's fog. It is damp. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Our first game popping off, afternoon baseball. Nice to get the day started with the win. And we have Skeens going up against Hendricks. Young versus old. We have Skeens sitting at minus 115. Opened up at minus 108. 7 cents of movement towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. On the total, we are sitting here with a 7.5, a minus 113 to the under. This opened up at 7.5 at 8:13 this morning at Pinnacle, and it moved to 8 at 8:38. Moved to the over, an immediate move to the over, and then it moved back to the under. And it didn't just move back to the under, it was smashed back to the under, because as soon as it went to 7.5, it went from minus 113 to minus 118 to the under. So it wasn't like a juiced over, it wasn't like a half-ass market move. It was a big one. This got up to minus 119 to the under. Now it's at minus 121 to the under. 15 cents of movement towards the under. Let's take a look at the cash flow and see if it correlates with your action that you plan on making. 58% of the tickets, 88% of the cash on the Chicago Cubs. We have a move towards the Pirates. On the total, we have 91% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over. And a move towards the under. Skeens' first start of the year, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks, and 2 walks. 10-9 win at home over the Cubs. Kyle Hendricks coming off finally a good start. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 1 homer, 5 Ks, 4 walks, and 5 4 inning win at the Pirates. So, again, I find it tricky when pitchers have just seen the opponent 5 days earlier. Pirates versus righties, 214, 615 OPS. They're now the worst team in the league against righties. Cubs versus righties, 227, 686. Not that much better. Both bullpens are dodgy. Pirates bullpen 4.30 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, have converted 13 of 23. Cubs bullpen 4.39 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, have converted 12 of 21. Take it away, Jose Bouquett. It is afternoon action at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, yesterday I came into this game thinking that I was going to fade Skeens and be on the Pirates. Or excuse me, on the Cubs, and I thought I was going to be on the over in this game, but you just read that market. All the money on the over and it's jumped down, so I'm on the under in this game. Backing Kyle Hendricks, a guy that I don't trust, really, but the Pirates are horrible against righties. We know that, and I think he can old man his way through this lineup. And Skeens, the market's indicating that he's going to have another good start here. I was kind of surprised by that. But it's going to be interesting to see how he adjusts and everything. So I took the under 7.5 minus 120 for me. Maybe I should have taken a first 5 under because we saw what happened last time with these teams, bullpen implosions. But yeah, I like the under in this game, and I was interested in the Pirates, but I didn't move on it. But I am interested in it. Just their bats scare me, I guess. So. Under 7.5 for me, even though I thought I was going to be on the over in this game.
So you watched Skeens' first start. And I mean, the numbers don't indicate that it was a good start. I mean, the strikeout numbers do.
Yeah, but those last few earned runs came at the end of his starts. I think he hit a guy and then gave up a single, and then the Pirates bullpen came in and walked like 60 guys in a row, as we saw. So, yeah, he had the numbers say we'll have 3 earned runs, but I think that's kind of deceptive. But yeah, and the thing that we'll always be concerned about is control and command. And I guess I can give him a little bit of a pass on this first start, being a little amped up. Hopefully he's a little more calm in this one. But yeah, I think he pitches well.
Gift of Cartel says neither team can hit righties.
And everyone's betting the over still.
Yeah. I think I have to stay off of this. I really do. No Suzuki in the lineup that's being posted. Let's see if we have a confirmed lineup here, and then we can move on to this. I think I stay off of this spot. There's nothing I have confidence in here. No angle. This is the confirmed lineup. Kutch, leadoff, Reynolds, O'Neill, Cruz, Connor, Joe, Gonzalez, Sawinski, Grandal, Rowdy, Telez, and Jared Triolo for the Pirates. For the Cubbies, Tauchman, Happ, Bellinger, Morel, Bush, Mastrobuoni, Madrigal, Crow, Armstrong in center field, and Miguel Amaya, a catcher. I'm off. I'm off. I will cheer you guys on. I don't want to back Skeens. I don't want to back Hendricks. I get the market is telling us to bet the under. I don't have confidence in the bullpens. I don't really like. I mean, you have to think with Skeens and Hendricks seeing the opponent second time that the advantage would be Hendricks, not Skeens. A lot of this I find tricky here. Enough Flashan said I looked at every pitch. He is legit.
Troy's saying the wind is howling as well.
Oh, really? Because that's not the information we got from Swish. Swish told us maybe it's howling right now. I don't know. It's 6.8 miles per hour out to left at first pitch. I mean, so that's an hour and 15 minutes. Let me just see what it is right now.
Yeah, right Troy, what does your weather vane say?
Yeah, it's 6 kilometers an hour. I don't howling. I'm not sure about the howling, but he's got boots on the ground. All right, a lot of action here. Ray Charles on the team total over. And Mikey Money took this under at 8. And he said he would consider if that's all that's out there. Regan Codes says the over is 9-2-0 for Pirates when played as away team coming off a road trip the last 10 years, 4-game road trip. My dude says I like Hendricks over 1.5 walks minus 115. Says Pirates are a top 5 team in baseball at walking.
It's going to be interesting to watch this game. It's the early game, too, and I'm not surprised that MLB gave them a nice little slot here for Skeensy to, go off and be the prime star, because they're definitely going to try to make Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens our version of Taylor Swift and Kelsey. So that'll be fun to see.
So here, Troy, it's blowing out to left field at 6.8 miles per hour. It moves slightly left as it gets heavier, 8.5 an hour in, 9.6 an hour in, always out to left field. Okay. I'm off.
Okay.
Good luck, Jose. Under 7.5 at minus 1.
Thank you. This isn't the bet I'm going to sell you on, though. We have a ways to go till that one. Because I texted Jimmy and I told him I'm going to sell him on an ugly dog here today.
I bet this is my only bet that I came in with. I bet last night, and I just didn't understand it. The market wasn't helping. It wasn't moving. I feel like Jake Irvin now gets a chance to show that he's the real deal going up against.
Oh boy, do we have the same bet? Because I bet this game like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I bet it last night. I can't. As much as I want to take Jake Irvin, Zach Wheeler on a bounce back performance at home is if only every game was Zach Wheeler coming off a bad start and coming home. So I think Zach Wheeler is going to shove. He's coming off a horrible performance at Miami, 4 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs. 1 homer, 2 Ks, and 3 walks. TJ says Wheeler to record the win here, -120, that he shoves big time here. So, Nationals, Phillies, Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's get to the weather first here. 71 Fahrenheit, 5 miles per hour right to left, right across the diamond. Stays between 5 and 6.4. Let's get into the line history here. We'll start with the money line. This money line, which is huge, is -228. So it's been a big move back to Washington. And there hadn't been a move. It's just been kind of stagnant until 10:39 this morning. There was a huge move back to Washington. So now Washington opening up at 228, now at +206. And then on the totals, we are sitting here with a 7.5 -111 to the under. So when I bet this, it was -114 to the under. This line's not moving towards the under. And that scares me. Why isn't it? I don't understand why it isn't. From a cash flow standpoint, you have 76% of tickets, 76% of cash on the over. Why? Is it because of a vividness bias with Jake Irvin being trash? Because he's not trash. I don't know why this would be. On the money line, we have 96% of tickets, 98% of cash on the Phillies, which is wild. TJ says Nats run is over. They were cash cow for a while. 19% below league average versus right-handed pitching coming down to earth, so we knew they would. Philadelphia #1 versus right-handed pitching. 255, 755 OPS for the Phillies versus righties. Nats 236, 75. This Nats bullpen's been very good this year. Very good. 3.43 ERA, 1.35 whip, converted 13 and 19. And the Phillies bullpen's been very good of late. Very good of late. Not Flush on says Phillies smacking the ball last night, but it was always finding gloves. Justin McKelvey says fading the Phillies is some stressful shit. Madadi says Irvin uses a curve and fastballs in the upper zone. Philly, one of the best hitting fastballs and curves, but above average when it's located above the zone. Leroy Flood on the Phillies run line. Jarek White is one of those that's on the over 7.5. Okay. I moved on the first 5 under 4. -109. I would like to see what it is now.
That's so funny.
First 5 under 4 here. The first 5 under 4 is now -110. Why is it not moving towards the under? I'm nervous about it. Thank God. I was actually planning on taking a first 3 under 2 at a plus price, but I don't see how I could. Von Polo also on the over 7.5. Troy saying Philly will likely make an make a parlay, ML parlay for Troy. Take it away, Jose. Are you on the first 5 under 4 with me?
Yeah, I am. It's hilarious to me. It's almost as if we cap every day together, and been like that for 3 years. So yeah, I was on the under, or I am on the under, I should say. I got -115. Jake Irvin's one of my guys this year. I've said throughout the year I think he's good. And this is kind of one of those spots where I've got to back my guy here in the face of not much market move. There was a 5-cent move towards the under in some spots for first 5, which made me feel a little better. That's why I chose first 5 over full game here. Full game hasn't moved. First 5 moved a little bit. But I just believe in Jake Irvin. And I was close to betting a +0.5 here for Washington Nationals. Honestly, because I was like, you know what? If it's 0-0, we can cash it as well. It was +115. Only reason I didn't bet is because I've been trying to back and forth between doubling up and not doubling up in spots I like because they've been fucking murdering me recently. But yeah, I like the Nationals here, and I think Zach Wheeler, yeah, he bounces back here. First 5 under, especially because I think he's going to bounce back, but I think Jake Irvin can match him.
I think this is Jake Irvin's coming out party, and maybe that's a huge mistake. But, TJ saying Philly gets 3 first 5, so you need Wheeler to shut them down to hit a first 5 under 4. If that's the case, TJ, then why aren't you on the Phillies first 5 -0.5 instead of being on Wheeler to record the win? Or maybe you don't want to double down. Why don't we bring him on here right now? Let's bring him on here right now. Your guest here on Fridays. TJ, what's happening, man? Happy belated 40th, my friend.
Yeah, feeling old.
Old. Kidding me? No, man. You got to.
Yeah,
It depends how much you drink, actually. Let me say that. It
a
depends
lot,
how much
a
you
lot.
drink.
Well, I mean, he had a good time with the Rangers last night. They snuck one out of their asses there.
That
So
was a Kreider natural hat trick in the third period of an elimination game. Are you kidding me?
Dude, the leader of the team, the longest tenured Ranger.
Oh, my good
It was
God.
like an orgasm out there.
Oh, it's just, I can't imagine what that's like for a fan. Just amazing. So why are you not on the first 5 minus a half if you think Philly gets 3 here?
It comes down to the juice, honestly. What I'm just looking real quick. Minus 140 for the first 5 minus a half, or minus 120 for Wheeler to get the win. So I don't want to double up, and 2, I just like the juice better on that Wheeler prop.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Interesting here from Gifted Cartel. Oh, he retracted it, so maybe he doesn't feel that way. But he's saying that talking about Zach Wheeler struggling last start. I love backing him after he struggles. Personally, it's always something I like. So, all right. First 5 under 4 for me. First 5 under 4 for Jose and Zach Wheeler to record the win from our guy TJ. TJ, what did you do for the 40th, man?
We went to Turning Stone. We golfed. We played some poker. Yeah, good times.
Sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. I can't wait to watch you rock today. You had some real rough luck last show here with us, and I know that you've been destroying CLV, and it's been tough lately. So I'm looking forward to watch you climb starting here today. So we'll have you on shortly. TJ's first game is coming up in a little bit. It is Tampa Bay Rays, Toronto Blue Jays. So we will see you soon, my man.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's hard to come up here one day a week, when most of us are betting every day. So I give lots of credit to the cappers that do well, and they're, coming on 1 or 2 days a week. It's tough to do.
It's not easy. It is not easy. It's a strange sample size for sure. We will see you soon, TJ. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board, 7:05 p.m. East. So that's my only bet. So now we form the card here with you guys. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 14-30, 4-16 on the road. The New York Yankees 30-15, 13-6 at home at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Let's get into the weather first and foremost in New York. It is 70 Fahrenheit, 6.2 miles per hour in. Stays between 5.2 and 6.2 miles per hour in. Let's get into the line history. I have the first 5 up right now for the total. So why don't we touch that? That opened up at 4.5, and it moved to 4 at 9:59 a.m. Eastern. It's now minus 112 to the over at 4, but we've moved a half run towards the under on the first 5. On the full game, we are sitting here at 7.5. 7.5. We've moved a full run to the under here, opening up at 8.5, now at 7.5. So we have a big move towards the under. Let's take a look at the money line here for this one. On the money line, we have these Yankees at minus 268. They opened up at minus 245. So despite this huge number, still 24 cents of line movement towards the New York Yankees. And when we get to the cash flow then for this one, we have 96% of tickets and 97% of cash on the New York Yankees. So cash cow a cometh, I imagine. Cash cow a cometh, I imagine. We will hear from, it has all the markings.
Troy, I think Troy might be busy today as well. So who knows? But yeah, shout out to Troy.
85% of tickets and 78% of cash on the over, and we've dropped a full run. Run.
I was so angry yesterday, just thinking about the market yesterday. I forgot which game it was. I think it was the Red Sox game, where we just all the money's on the over. It drops, and I'm like, great, this feels awesome, and then it still goes over. I'm like, what the fuck is it moving down? And it still fucking goes over. It pissed me off so bad last night. And it just feels like the same fucking thing.
Well, you know what was interesting for me was I was planning on betting the under in the Mets-Phillies game. And that, I had to run and pick up Ella, came back and got my axe. That moved a half run to the over after our show. And I got off of it. And that should have cashed. It was extra inning garbage. That should have cashed. Mikey Money says fading the White Sox in game 1 of a series is big, but teams longer than plus 155 are 0-19 straight up and 3-16 on the run line if they and their starter won the previous meeting. Gifted Cartel says he trusts Nestor at home more than on the road, especially versus lineup. Don't trust Clevenger at all. Troy Torrance says, I think this one has cash cow potential. Issue is this massive move to the under. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the White Sox have value here. It's such a gigantic price against a pitcher that I have not liked this whole season.
He did not look good in his last start. 7-2 loss at the Rays. Nasty Nestor, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, 5 Ks, and 3 walks. White Sox.
Speaking of guys that aren't going to be on the playoff roster, this
Nasty
fucking guy
Nestor.
potentially. If not, they might use him into the bullpen as a lefty in there. But shit, he is not good.
Last 4 runs, 2 jacks against the Rays. Clevenger coming off a nice start at home versus the Guardians. The White Sox bullpen, as soon as I said they're going to fall apart, they've looked good. 4.03 ERA now, 1.40 whip, converted 10 of 19. Can you believe that the White Sox have 19 save opportunities? The White Sox have had more save opportunities, 6 more save opportunities than the Mariners. You know, look at this, 4 more save opportunities than the Blue Jays.
I mean, they've been
just
hot recently too.
It's absolutely wild. You know, the Braves and the Chicago White Sox have had the same amount of save opportunities. Now you could say the Braves, you know, win games by, you know, multiple runs. White Sox more save opportunities than the Padres. I mean, it's just, it's wild, absolutely wild. This does not appeal to me to get involved in. I can understand the White Sox. I mean, I with the low total. I mean, it's saying that there's less volatility, which is appealing for a dog. And the move towards the under is keeping Troy off of the cash cow at this point. What about like the first 3 innings? I'd be curious, what's first 3 innings plus a half? Oh, it's minus 120. Okay, fuck that.
Honestly, at this point, I'd rather bet an over than the under. But
yeah, I'm not involved. Are you involved in this one?
no.
We roll on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. We got a beautiful pitching matchup in Charm City, Baltimore. Shout out to our guy Von Polo. And shout out to the Freakness at the Preakness, baby. Ooh, as soon as I get my action in, it's all horses. Until, of course, 7 p.m. when the roller coaster starts. God, this roller coaster. How many years is going to take off our lives? Bryce Miller, Cole Irvin, Seattle, Baltimore. Also,
by the way, I think I saw John Means might be getting the start here.
Oh, you're right.
now.
Cole Irvin was.
Yeah, I had Cole Irvin as well, and then I saw that.
Yeah,
Means
that's why
might
you
be
sent me that
going.
message. I totally forgot. Let's go back to. Do they have Means?
I think the lines were the same, but
Means is listed now.
So,
Means is listed.
Which is interesting. I think the lines were the exact same with Cole and Means, the two lefties. They're kind of similar, but Cole Irvin's just having a great year.
Von Polo says the weather is good today. Ball should fly out here in Baltimore. Nate Dogg on Baltimore money line and Means over strikeouts. Bricky Bobby on the other side. He's on Miller over 4.5 Ks. Doug on Orioles -1 full game. Rodney Barton on that last game saying that the Yankees have covered the run line 5 straight versus AL Central teams. Ralph Nunziata in the house. Great to see you, Ralph. OG low bagger. Support us since I was in Costa Rica. Shout out to my guy, Ralph. Okay, so let's set this one up. I don't have John Means set up, so if you could handle Means, but I will do Bryce Miller. 3-3, 2.66 ERA, 0.95 whip, 51 Ks over 47 and a third. He's coming off an 8-1 loss at home versus the A's. He was good. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks, 2 walks. Quality start. Mariners versus lefties. 236, 93 OPS. They're not hitting anybody. And again, the Orioles aren't hitting righties, which goes to show what a complete ball club this is to be sitting here at 27-14 and hitting 227, 700 versus righties. Both bullpens have been very, very good. So let's take a look at the line history now. Keep in mind that things would have changed when it went to Means, but this line has gone up to 8.5 from 8. And this line also didn't open up till 10:11 a.m. at Pinnacle, so they were waiting. So this is a real line from Pinnacle. This is all John Means real line, right? 8 to 8.5. Because
I didn't see much of a move.
And then on the money line here, we have no move at all. Go over to the cash flow. Keep in mind, some of these tickets might have had Irvin. 51% of tickets, 46% of cash on the under coin flip. And on the money line, 74% of tickets, 99% of the cash on the Baltimore Orioles. Doug says this will be Means' third start. Expect him to be sharp today. Jake Burns on O's first 5. Billy Friedrich on Skeens and Means. Take it away, Jose. Camden Yards, Mariners, Orioles.
Yeah, honestly, I probably lean Mariners here, if I'm going to be honest. Means is coming off of a rough start. He's had 2. This is his third. I forget who already mentioned it, but whoever mentioned it. His last start, Arizona, 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs on a home run, 3 Ks, no walks. But Arizona is one of the best hitting teams against lefties. So make that note. He came off of, before that, he was 7 innings shutout, 3 hits, 8 Ks, no walks against Cincinnati at Cincinnati. A good start. But unfortunately for Means, he's not getting much of a reprieve here. Seattle against lefties this month, 149 weighted runs created plus and 129 plate appearances. So pretty decent sample size. They're crushing them. Full season, they're only 15th, 104 weighted runs created plus. So a little above average, but still kind of low. So you can see that they're hitting them the ball pretty well right now. And Bryce Miller is a good enough pitcher to shut down the Orioles. So I lean Mariners, but I don't like fading them. The Orioles at home. So I stay off. I'll be interested to see how it goes.
Interesting. I didn't realize the Mariners were hitting lefties harder.
Yeah, hit them really hard in this month so far. 17 days, you could say it's a small sample, sure, but it's recent. They've been hitting them well. So that's why I've stayed off here. And I lean over in a rare overlean for me here. Because obviously, like we said, the Orioles' offense is really good. And Bryce Miller is very good. But I just don't trust, I guess, young pitchers up against this juggernaut offense with a bunch of people that we might not know, but they'll hit the ball well. So no action for me on this one.
I am leaning now towards the Seattle Mariners here. I just want to go over Means' first couple starts here. He looked so good in them. But he didn't look good in that start against Arizona because they smashed lefties. If you were just looking at the year-long stats, you'd think this would be a great opportunity for him. But
very annoying that Arizona smashes lefties, and I don't remember who the lefty I faded against them the other day, and they got diced up against them as well. So, it's very annoying. By the way, for record keeping or whatever purposes, Arizona's second full season against lefties, 137 weighted runs created plus. This month, Arizona is 11th, 110. So, make that note. He got hit by an Arizona team as well that is hitting lefties well in the year, but not as much or not as well as usual. So, yeah, I think Means can be vulnerable today, but I just can't get on it. It's going to be an interesting game to watch. And when it gets to the Orioles bullpen, that's when you're really rolling the dice there, especially with Kimbrel, who I think is already on the IL. Or they just phantom IL'd him. I have not paid attention too much, but
I don't have
no action here.
Is he on the IL?
I thought they threw him because I saw him leave with shoulder discomfort in one of his starts, and I don't know if they IL'd him or what. But I saw him leaving with a trainer, and I figured this will just be the excuse to get him out of the rotation or out of the bullpen.
He's being pulled as the closer. That's all.
Okay. Well, yeah, that should have been done fucking weeks ago. Cost me money left and fucking right.
Joe Yerger says the line's about right here. Pass. The line may be right, and I know you don't care about this as much as we do, Joe, but all this money on the Baltimore Orioles, it really, really makes me want to fade them and back Bryce Miller.
Yeah, I consider a team total, perhaps. What are we getting, a 4 or 3.5?
I'm thinking
3.5. Obviously, I'd be much more interested in.
I think I'm taking this further. I think I'm taking Mariners first 5 and full game.
3.5 minus 130. Not bad. I just want less juice. So yeah, no action for me.
Okay. Johnny Guns, I'm right with you. Von Polo, I'm right. Well, Von Polo fading his team. Who better than you to fade your own team? My dude as well. And Sammy Comer will be in attendance for the Jays game. No, Sammy always comes into Toronto when we've got a 12-hour horse show, so I can't come down and meet him. Look, I'm on the Mariners. I'm going to decide whether it's a double-up spot, depending on how much action I have.
Sammy, it'd be a real shame if you swung by the horse show before the game.
Let's roll here to our next spot on the board, and it's best bet time. best bet from our guy TJ. Please welcome him back. Coming to us from upstate New York, fresh off his 40th birthday celebration. Tampa Bay Rays, Toronto Blue Jays, TJ at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. Chris Bassett, a journeyman pitcher who Dennis Garcia put it. Now, I don't want to quote him. I hate quoting people when he screwed up, but basically he said that Chris Bassett doesn't raise your ceiling. It just raises your floor. He can't be so bad if he eats up 200 innings. And that was why the decision was to throw Kikuchi in that last start out instead of Bassett against
I thought you were about to say raise your children. I thought we were getting to Kendrick Lamar, Drake things again.
No, we're not getting into Kendrick and Drizzy. No. Tyler Alexander, 7 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 3 homers, 3 Ks, 2 walks, and 10-6 loss at home versus the Yankees. The one thing about the Jays is they hit lefties. They don't have a ton of power, but they're much better against lefties than righties. 247, 708 OPS, and maybe those numbers don't sound that good, but the MLB as a whole are playing poorly against lefties. Rays bullpen 4.44 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, 14 of 24. And the Jays bullpen's been bad. I keep telling you it's going to be better. I still expect it to be better, but I don't really have proof. Bassett coming off that nice start at the Phillies. Okay, let's take a look at the line history and then hand it over to our guy, TJ. One question we have is, could this be the first game of the year where the roof's open? No. 60 Fahrenheit at first pitch? No, it won't be. But we're getting close. We are getting close to roof open time up here. Here we have the Jays at minus 158. Hard to imagine them to be that big of a favorite. Open up minus 167, now minus 156. So these have moved even further. 11 cents of movement towards the Tampa Bay Rays. And then when we get into the total, how did I flip this off? Sorry. When we get to the total here, we have this sitting at 8.5, minus 112 to the under. Open minus 114 to the under. Then cash flow wise, we have 74% of the tickets, but just 64% of the cash on the Jays. Interesting. And on the total, we have 86% of tickets and 92% cash on the over. Wow. That's a lot of money on the over for it not to be moving. Troy Torrance says this Jays team is an atrocity, but he still wants to back them. What does TJ say? Best bet time. Take it away.
Yeah, so I think we have a lot of an even matchup here. I don't quite understand why Toronto's such a big favorite. Alexander, his numbers right off, just looking at earned runs, home runs allowed, things like that look bad, but the advanced numbers are right there with Bassett. I mean, they both have a 4.7 xFIP, 4.31 Sierra for Alexander, 4.36 for Bassett, and their expected earned run average is about the same. I know Bassett's at home. He's fine. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to get a ton off him, but I don't think Alexander's going to be as bad as he looks, especially with the with the Blue Jays struggling to hit homers. I mean, their ISO is terrible. They're like bottom 5. These guys don't put the ball in the air enough. They hit a lot of line drives, which is surprising, but they're just not getting under the ball quite enough to get out of the yard. So I think we can expect Alexander to have a better start here than what he had against the Yankees. I think that's fair to expect. And then I was looking at the Tampa Bay bullpen usage, and they kind of got rocked yesterday. They have a lot of guys that are used up. So I wanted to back Tampa Bay at the number, but I can't with the way the bullpens have been, or their bullpen has been used up. And then I obviously don't trust Toronto's pen. I know you've kind of been saying all year they're going to turn it around, but we're not seeing it. So slightly concerned with the market and everybody on the over, but that's what I'm on, over 8.5. I think this game maybe stays close early on, and you could see 5-6 runs in the last 4 innings once the starters are out. Now Alexander's probably going to come out after 4. They don't want him to see the lineup a third time, because that's when he tends to get rocked. So 4 or 5 for Alexander, best case.
Very, very interesting, because the line's not moving with the public on the over, which did pique my interest on the under, but I can't vouch for the bullpen. Kelly McKinnon says Bassett shoves. Bassett was probably not pleased that Kikuchi was chosen over him. What do you think here, Jose? I mean, he's clearly better than his numbers indicate at this point in the year, and he's pitched well at home in the past. And that was a great start at Philadelphia last out. What do you think, Jose? Take it away. Rogers Center, Rays, Jays.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the Rays were this big of favorites. For me, it's definitely
Jays.
Rays or pass. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
the Jays are this big of favorites. It's Rays or pass for me. And the line's moving towards the Rays, so I guess. But yeah, I just didn't want to move on this game. TJ mentioned a tired Rays bullpen. They're kind of feeling good about themselves as well. 3 games, 1 out of 4 against the Red Sox. So happy flight. So no action for me here. But I do lean Rays.
I will stay off of this. Did you tweet any of this action out, TJ, my guy?
No, I no.
Okay,
I haven't been tweeting action. I have a little something else that prevents me from doing that. So
okay, no worries. Let's give you that over 8.5 here. Giving you that at even money, which begs the question: do you want to know what it is at 8?
yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, let's pull it up here. Interesting note from our guy Vitalis Bassett, top 21 in worst xFIP. You're hoping bats show up, but bad bullpens like to play. Good luck. I agree with Jose. Raise first 5 and take the plus money. Okay, so let's pull up the line on the over 8.5 at even money. So what will we get the 8 at? And here we go. And Blue Jays, what the hell are they? Here we go. Okay, the 8 is minus 119. Over 8 minus 119.
That's about even. Yeah, give me over 8 minus 119.
Over 8 at minus 119 for TJ. TJ is on the board. Best bet number 1. TJ joins us again for Angels, Texas Rangers. So we'll have TJ back here shortly. TJ on the board with the over 8 minus 119. We'll see you very soon, TJ. Jose, 7:10 p.m. Eastern with the Minnesota Twins, 24-19, 13-8 on the road. The Cleveland Guardians, 27-17, 12-6 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to the land. And our guy Ick Schnizzle, his daughter playing for the Mariners, made their season debut yesterday.
I did see that. Shout out to Ick.
Yeah,
did you see that the WNBA is adding a Canadian team as well, by the way?
I did see that. Yeah. I mean, I tried to get people around here interested in it, and nobody seemed to care.
We need to for Ella's sake. I'd like to see Ella dunking on some women.
I would like to see that as well. Twinkies Guardians here. I went to this because Carter basketball is his favorite sport. I went to because he's going to be at the same school as Ella. I'm like, when's the basketball team play? And no one, they just looked at me with like blank stares. I hate. There's things about Canada I hate so much. You go to any like middle school. This is an elementary school, middle school in America, and say, yeah, when do the grade 8s, when do grade 7 and 8s have their basketball game? They'll tell you right away. Here they just like, what? There's a basketball team. I'm like, you're the principal, aren't you? Twins Guardians, because we would go. Carter, I want Carter to watch these kids play. He's going to be piss me off. Guardians right now are at minus 115.
Could you coach one of those teams?
I don't want to ever be the head coach. I don't think my dad was the head coach of baseball and football. I just did. The pressure is just intense. What I would like to do is be like the assistant coach, just help and like help around and not put the
goalie coach Jimmy.
I'll put pressure on Carter once we get into the car. You know.
Okay.
But
God damn it, Carter! I drove all this fucking way.
No. Because then he's not going to want to play sports. I want him to want to play sports. I got to keep it fun. Cleveland opening up at minus 115 yesterday at 4:09 p.m. They're still at minus 115. Now it didn't move. We did see this, go down to 113. We saw it go up to minus 123, but we have no movement here on the money line. Let's get to the total here in this one. This total is sitting right now at 8, even money to the under. This opened up at 8 as I pick 'em. So that's 7 cents of movement towards the over. 7 cents of movement towards the over. Shout out to our guy AOD. Jojo Rich in the house. Another OG low bagger. Jojo Rich says Twinkies are past. DC Capper on the other side with Cleveland minus 120.
By the way, shout out to Prince of the City who made an appearance in the chat. Very rare appearance for Prince in the City. Shout out to him. Haven't seen him in a really long time.
That guy's money in the bank.
Yeah, did a video for your 10-year, 5-year anniversary once upon a time.
Oh, he
appreciated that.
Yeah. You know, he had a flight to Toronto to party with me, and the pandemic hit. He had to cancel it. Like pandemic hit like a week. Like it was a week. It was days before he was coming, and then the pandemic full thing. He had to cancel it.
Didn't he came to Publapalooza 1?
He did.
Shout out to Prince of the City.
68 Fahrenheit, 6.6 miles per hour, right to left. Ice down to 4.3. So weather a non-issue here in the land. The bigger issue is what are you going to get from these two pitchers, two young stars? What did the total do? Sorry, the total has moved 7 cents to the over. Okay, 7 cents to the over. No movement on the money line. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 56% of tickets, 50% of cash on the over, and 27% of the tickets, but 65% of the cash on the Minnesota Twins. I wonder. So Simeon Woods Richardson came up with the Blue Jays. I wonder if he cared too much about the start. I don't have any. He did not look good in that 10-8 loss. 4 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 homers, 2 Ks, 1 walk. He was forcing it, and he just didn't look good. I wonder if this is a great bounce back opportunity for him against the Guardians team that doesn't hit righties, 227, 675 OPS. You could say the Twins don't hit righties either if you look at their season-long statistics, but we know that they've been much, much better against righties over the last few weeks. But Joe Yurgevich says Twins offense dead now. Twins offense dead now. AOD, thank you for the kind words, my man. Tristan McKenzie looks great. You know, we talked about the issue with his elbow. It doesn't seem to be too big of a problem. 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, one of which were in 5 Ks, 3 walks, a 3-1 loss at the White Sox. Guardians bullpen best in the league. Twins bullpen's been pretty good. Take it away for us here, Jose Bouquett, Twinkies Guardians.
No action for me here again, but how is this not a low-scoring game for me? This is, arguably you could say the best two teams in this division. Twins might not look at record-wise, but this is, their first time playing against each other, I believe. It's just, I feel like this is going to be a big matchup for this division all season. I think the Twins will get back into it, obviously. So I felt like this would be a lower scoring, kind of playoff, vibey kind of game instead of your regular Friday afternoon. But I stayed off. Those were all just, feelings and such, and I don't want to bet off of those feelings. I do expect Simeon Woods Richardson to bounce back here, and McWinsey has been dominant all year with his fucking UCL hanging on by a thread like Tanaka used to once upon a time. So no action. But again, we saw Tanaka pitch really well with that UCL hanging on by a thread, and McKenzie's looking to do the same thing and has done so far.
It's hard to believe that they've been able to do this. Tristan's been able to do this, and he's done it so easily. We thought we were, he was a fade, and then he's not a fade at all. I hope this game is celebrated, with two Black American pitchers on the mound. We know that the top young Black athletes are all picking football, and none of them are picking baseball. And we just don't have, think of the 25 years ago. There's tons of great Black American pitchers. Now, I think
there's only 8 Black American starting pitchers that have 100 wins. And I think CC Sabathia was the last one to be introduced to they're called the Black Aces. And McKenzie's obviously probably the best chance for another one. Him and Hunter Green, obviously. But yeah, it's like I said, like CC Hall of Famer, probably like I said, like to 8th maybe. I'll look it up here, but not many Black pitchers come up, and not many of them get to 100 wins. And
in America, the star Black athletes are not playing baseball, so hopefully they can celebrate these two pitchers going up against each other and have more young Black athletes playing baseball, young Black American athletes playing baseball. All right. Von Polis is going to watch to support his Black brothers. Look, it's hurting the game not having the best American athletes gravitating towards baseball. It's hurting our game. We need it.
Okay, I got it. So it's the Black Aces are black pitchers that have won 20 games in one season, which is crazy. 13 pitchers in there. I'll save you the list of the 13 names on there. But like I said, CC was the last one to do it. Sorry. David Price was the last one to do it, and then CC.
Well, we got one. Oh,
yeah,
good
old
Jenkins.
Fergie Jenkins. You want to know how many times he's done it? Because he's done it the most.
Chatham, Ontario's Fergie Jenkins. How many times has he done it?
7 times. 20 wins in a season 7 times is fucking ridiculous. Again, the most on that list, right behind him with 5, which is really not that close, is Bob Gibson. So,
but no one's better than Bob Gibson. I mean, he's phenomenal. But Fergie hit homers too, man. Fergie was the man. He's still the man. All right. I don't want to fade Tristan McKenzie, but that's the only thing I would do here is expect a bounce back start from Simeon Wood Richardson. All the guys talking about the one run the Twins scored against the Yankees. So we talk about one run in the last 27 innings. It's even worse than that. The Twins scored that first run on a leadoff home run to start the series.
Yeah,
Jeffers went yard.
Really, it was annoying as fuck last night.
And then not one more run. Oh, Vida Blue, says Benjamin Mills.
Yeah, Vida Blue is on that list, yeah.
Vida Blue, Dave Stewart. Those two A's.
By the way, Minnesota 2.5 games back of the Cleveland Guardians. So a lot of incentive to, if not win this series, try to sweep. I don't know. I'm assuming this is 3 games, but yeah.
Yeah, let's roll. And the Clark Edge looking at Twins team total under. All right, let's roll on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Next up for us, New York Mets 20-23, 10-9 on the road at Miami Marlins. There was a Dontrell Willis comment from Torrey Coker.
He's on that list as well, yes.
I thought that guy was going to have a monster career. Ugh, this is tough, man. New York Mets, Miami Marlins. Mets 10-9 on the road. They've been a good road team. Marlins just 6-17 at home at Lone Depot in Miami, Florida. It is time to talk Christian Scott. Young Christian Scott, 24 years old, out of Coconut Creek, Florida. 5th round pick in the 2020 draft out of the University of Florida. And he has been very, very good. So good. Last year, he went from high A to single A to double A. And he was awesome. 12 starts in double A in Binghamton to close up the season. 62 innings, 77 strikeouts, 8 walks. 0.84 whip. He's very good. He carried that right over to AAA Syracuse. AAA Syracuse, he went 3-0 over 5 starts, 25 in the third. And look at this K to walk ratio. I mean, it's constant. 36 Ks, 7 walks. You want a whip? 0.71 whip. Comes into the majors for 2 starts and looks excellent there. And he's continued that K to walk ratio. 14 Ks to 3 walks. How do you not want to back Christian Scott? But we must stop everything. Our guy, Robert Franklin, in the house says, yo, Jimmy, had my new addition to the family. A baby girl, Aria Rose Franklin. What a beautiful name. Aria Rose Franklin. Oh, that's such a beautiful name. I love it. Going to copy and paste this. Congratulations, Robert Franklin.
Yep.
I love the name. I'm going to copy and paste this right off at the top.
Yeah. Robert, get Arya into the Game of Thrones and teach her about Arya Stark. Killed the Night King. Big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
I'd pass on that. I'd pass on that information.
Big deal.
Right
but
there.
Congrats on the sex, Robert.
Oh,
9 months ago.
Jesus. It just does. Oh, God. Congratulations, Robert, on expanding the family, man. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news. Our guy, Robert Franklin. I love it. And I love the name. Aria Rose Franklin. So beautiful. Wine Time Sports on the under 7.5 and TJ on the first 5 under 4. Let's take a look at, I copied and pasted at the top. Let's go over the X's and O's here of this spot. Daby Cab best bet is on the next game here. Christian Scott versus Jesus Luzardo. So Christian Scott looks like the real deal. That last start was against the Braves. It's not like he's been going up against cupcakes. 6 innings, 300 runs, 8 Ks, 2 walks. He's the real deal. Luzardo finally had a good start at home versus the Phillies. That's not easy. We know what the Phillies do to lefties. 5 2/3, 2 runs, 8 Ks, and 1 walk. Mets don't hit Phillies at all, or fit lefties at all. 226, 47 OPS. Mets first righty or Marlins first righties don't hit them at all either. 231, 649 OPS. This Mets bullpen is very, very good. This is a really interesting baseball game. Let's talk about the line history here in this one. We have Luzardo and the Marlins at plus 106. They opened up at plus 109. So a 3-cent move towards the Miami Marlins. On the total, we are sitting here with a 7.5. It opened up at 7.5, minus 112 to the over. 10 cents of movement towards the under. So much so that this went to 7 at 2:13 in the morning. So it went to 7 to it came right back up to 7.5. And then when we get to the cash and the where the money lies, 66% of tickets, 65% of cash on the New York Mets. And on the total, 86% of tickets, 83% cash on the over. Ooh-wee. This is our wheelhouse, Jose. How have you not bet this already? I want first 5 under, full game under. Take it away.
Yeah, no, the Mets numbers against the lefties in this month specifically, dead last. 153 weighted run, 153 plate appearances, 48 weighted runs created plus there. By the way, K percentage is 7th worst. Boston Red Sox, of course, the worst against lefties, K percentage wise, because they suck. Yeah, this does seem like an under, huh, Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
So I will probably join you here full game. Obviously, it's always sketchy trusting the Marlins bullpen here. I'd like to see. I believe they had an off day yesterday as well. They did. So you're getting a full, healthy, rested bullpen at least. So I'll be on the full game under with you here, Jimmy. I was thinking about the Mets this whole time, though, honestly. I was kind of back and forth, just like, am I going to bet the Mets? I mean, this seems so obvious. I don't know why the Marlins are such, close here. No one's going to be at this game. If anyone's going to be at this game, it's going to be Mets fans at this game. But yeah, I'll take the full game under 7.5. I'll just roll with that because I think Luzardo can pitch well. So this will be interesting here. And Troy saying this could be a sharp trap for the Mets here. So it's very interesting. And sure, it is concerning that Scott pitched well against the Braves here, and now he's coming up against the Marlins. Maybe able to be at a little bit of a letdown spot for him here.
Third start of his career.
But I'm on it.
But I mean, it's not what he's going to walk into Lone Depot and not still be so excited to be a major league pitcher.
Man, my concern would be walking into Lone Depot saying, I shut down the Braves. I'm the big shit here. I want to shut down these Marlins and take them too lightly. Would be my concern.
Nobody makes eye contact with rookies. The guy doesn't walk around big dicking in the clubhouse. I don't know.
But I'm on it. Minus 115 for the under for me. 7.5.
Ron Crawford says we haven't seen enough from Scott. I hear you, but I went over the single A or the high A, single A, double A, and then in the triple A last year. I mean, I don't know. I like it. Now
and that fucking skunt, Edwin Diaz, he fucking better close this game. He has cost me now. Him and Craig Kimbrell have been fucking murderers to me. Those motherfuckers better close ball games for me.
Old E says, what is the database whispering?
It whispers sweet nothings, Old E. It whispers sweet nothing.
All right, let's move on. Is skunt a Venezuelan word? No, it's a Canadian word. It was invented right here in Parkdale by me. Let's go. San Diego Padres 22-24, 12-8 on the road at the Atlanta Braves 26-14, 15-5 at home, and it's best bet time. Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas, the Magic Man, Mr. Dabra Cadabra. Daby Cab, how are you, my man?
Oh man, it's Friday. I got some good weed, some good bets. I'm ready, man. It's a good day. Glad to be here with y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get fucking paid.
And
good start from Dabby. Not muted.
Oh, look, see, now he's being a dick. But at least you have one good friend. You have one
Yeah.
good friend up here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's go here. Padres, Braves, and Matt Waldron. Not a lot of pitchers like Matt Waldron left. Got a little Gaylord Perry in him. A little Phil and Joe Necro in him. 1-5, 5.49 ERA, 1.45 whip, a throwback. 35 Ks, 15 walks. He's allowed 6 jacks over 39 in the third innings. Last start, 5-0 loss at home versus Dodgers. He was very good. 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, 2 walks. Robert Franklin says skunt, a word I will be adding to my vast vocabulary. Skunt is an excellent word, Robert Franklin. There's only a few things I can really help you with in life, and that is you can now say skunt out loud. Nobody knows what you're talking about. You can, it's not like the other one. Another
I've
thing,
said
though,
that, yeah.
I can't stress this enough. And this is my ace in my sleeve. If an old woman is bothering you,
Oh boy.
if an old woman's bothering you, or if she's annoying you or whatever, and she's got short hair, you just say, "Listen, sir, I'm not in the mood for this." And
She'll be taken aback.
She's just, the first thing they do is this. They touch their facial hair. That's the very first. At 10 times out of 10. You know what, mister? I'm not in the mood for this. It's sir or mister. And they just.
I think Mr. hits deep. Mr. hits deep.
I can't tell you how perfect it is. You don't swear. You don't do anything. And you get right in here.
Just like yellow picket fence teeth.
See, the power of words. Jose can't stop thinking of it. We said his teeth look like yellow picket fences. It's the same thing. You win. You win. You walk away a winner. All right. Matt Waldron's last start, very good against the Dodgers. Going up against Max Fried. Talk about great last starts. 7 innings, no hits. 5 Ks, 3 walks, and a 4-1 win at the Metropolitans. The Padres are not hitting lefties. 197, 615 OPS. Braves versus righties, 251, 727 OPS. Padres bullpen 4.02 ERA, 1.23 up. They're actually better than I think their numbers indicate. And the Braves bullpen 3.32 ERA, 1.26, 12 of 19 against 12 of 19 converted save opportunities. Okay, so let's set this up. From a total scenario, we are sitting here with an 8 at Pinnacle. 8.5s everywhere else. This opened up at 8.5 at 3:58 p.m. yesterday. It's at 2:36 a.m. It moved to 8, but it got back to 8.5 at 8:30 p.m. and then right back at 9:30 to 8. So we have a move towards the under. On the money line, sorry, here we go. On the money line, we have a minus 220 on the Atlanta Braves, opening up at minus 208, 12 cents of movement. Is this a cash cow situation? I guess not, because it's a move to the under. But we'll hear from Troy. 58% of tickets, 51% of cash on the over. And on the money line, 89% of tickets, 71% cash on the Atlanta Braves. Best bet time from Dabber Cadabra. Take it away.
Yeah, you said Waldron had a good start last game against the Dodgers, which he did. He's had 2 good starts against the Dodgers. He went 5 1/3 last game, gave up the 2 earned runs. And then he went 5 innings the game before earlier in this season and only gave up 1 run. So, maybe they just don't pick up the ball against him or something, because that's two starts in a row where he's been good against them. But on the season, he's been roughed up all year. You see his record sitting at 1-5 with the 5.49 ERA, 1.45 whip. But the Padres, even worse. They're only 1-7, in his starts, even that one against the Dodgers. Dodgers were still able to get 5 runs in that game and win that game. I don't think Waldron has got what it takes to stifle this Atlanta offense. Especially, you look at Atlanta, they're ranked 5th in batting average, 6th in OPS right now. So they're up there in categories, but the past couple weeks, they're 13th in batting average. Their numbers are just a little bit lower the past few weeks. But with all that being said, they're still winning baseball games. They've won 6 out of their last 8. I don't see any reason why they slow down here. And I think Waldron's primed to give up 3 or 4 runs. And if they're able to get, 3 or 4 runs off him, then you're getting the Padres bullpen, which is 16th in the league right now, 4.02 ERA. They're 9th in whip. So like you said, I think their bullpen numbers aren't. I think they might be a little better than what their numbers indicate, but I still think they're not good enough to get through this Braves lineup without giving up a few runs. So I'm going to get back at it here. I stayed off for the past couple days. This team total with the Braves, and they've been slow. So I've missed some bullets here because they haven't been putting them up. But I think coming against Waldron right here, they're at home. They've been home. They just had the series against Chicago at home, so they're not, they're comfortable. This is a good spot for them. Braves team total over 4.5.
Braves team total over 4.5. Did you tweet this out?
Yes, I did. It was -116.
Braves team total over 4.5, -116. Interesting. Kelly McInnes, you're right. The RotoWire says 77% chance of rain. Swish, nothing like that. 15% at first pitch. I'm going to go through a weather report right now while Jose's giving us his plan of attack. But
you just say one place said 75 and one place said 15.
Yes.
God, it must be nice to be a weather person, huh?
I don't know. Only the Mexican weather people are okay. Jose, take it away.
He forgot who was on the panel. He's like, wait, hold on.
No, they're the hot. Have you not seen the Mexican weather reporters? They're vivacious.
Vivacious. That's another one you can put in your vocabulary, Robert Martin. Vivacious.
No one needs vivacious. Skunt, on the other hand, everybody needs skunt. There's a lot of terms that you need. Food, pussy, bottom mouth.
I need a vivacious skunt.
Vivacious skunt. Yeah. Drink
bulbous.
Yeah. Mouth pussy.
Yeah. Stopping pussy. All of these
pussy,
words. Yeah.
Top pussy. I don't know. We can work on this, but take it away.
Yeah, sure. So I have a mini hypothesis about Matt Waldron. Braves are semi-scuffling on offense, again, up to their standards. I think seeing a knuckleball is going to be so good for them here. They're already, scuffling kind of sideways on regular pitching. So let's throw them something completely different. Why do the Dodgers struggle against Matt Waldron? Because they're fucking ripping the cover off the ball normal pitchers. Matt Waldron is not a normal pitcher. He throws differently. The knuckleball is different. So I have that, kind of running hypothesis going. So maybe we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I could see the Braves easily getting to a Waldron here. Again, who's going to benefit from Waldron? Fucking Matt Olson. I would not be surprised at all. Matt Olson, who's been pretty bad this year so far, wouldn't be surprised at all if he's all saw this fucking knuckleball and went yards today. So no action for me here. Actually, Troy said this is a Cash Cow Cup spot, and I told myself that I'll be betting all the Cash Cow run line spots. So never mind. I'm actually will be on the Braves run line here. Shout out to the Cash Cow. The only way I bet run lines is the Cash Cow.
Jason Work already starting with it. Happy birthday to your girl, Lamont. Respect. I don't see why this wouldn't be a Cash Cow spot. Market's moving towards them. It's probably, it's just
-110 for me. -1.5.
Yeah.
They're going to get them right in the food pussy.
So I didn't touch on Fried a ton because I was, focusing on that team total. But he's been on fire. His last 4 starts, 29 innings pitched. He's got a 1.24 ERA, a 0.57 WHIP. And then you look, he's also got pretty decent numbers here head-to-head against the Padres. The current roster has a slash line of 206, and 275 OPS, and that's over 63 at-bats. So, he's got good numbers here against them, and he's been on fire lately.
I got to start betting the Cash Cow over and over again because I don't want I don't want my stink on it. It's like 15-3 and it's 0-2, and I don't want that to be a cloud over it. I don't want people to go, oh, Jimmy's on it, I can't be on it, and all that shit.
That's what I've done now, Jimmy. I've committed to just betting all of them. I lost 3 run lines. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I just have to keep betting it. So, yeah. No, Nate, I switch hands. I switch hands to jerk off Troy. So
also, he uses
let's
feet,
be honest.
too. He uses his feet
as
well.
That's the shit that Troy's into,
All right. Let's go. Let's go. That's our moderator right there.
That's one of them.
I'm proud of him. That was excellent work.
Yeah.
Okay, we roll.
And no worry, Nate. It's to completion as well, Nate. It is to completion.
Oh God.
Oh, and by the way, Daby, again, as Jimmy would say, I'd be remiss to ask. I'm sure you have another bet on the card here, but are there any other bets that you were close to making? Because Troy learned the hard way yesterday.
He did. We told him not to.
Troy learned the hard way. Yeah, we told him not to go against the best angle in sports betting, but we should just ask, Daby Cab, anything you were close to today?
No.
Okay. We gotta ask.
I'm trying to decide if I'm a bettor or not yet, so I'm not letting you get in my head right now. So you just
Okay.
Don't let him. Don't. Let
All
him.
right.
Let's keep his feet under the table. All right.
You understand the problem that I have here, because the moment I bet it, it's not a waffle anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
So I
So you should
can't
just bet
fucking
it.
make money on this fucking thing. So it's bullshit, and I don't want to hear about it.
19-2. It's just, it's just the best angle. What can we do, Cap? Who are we not to track this?
We're just thankful to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Because if we weren't, we wouldn't have this information. Like, if you weren't my friend, you wouldn't have told me, look, I'm close to moving on the Astros on the run line.
Man, I texted Jimmy that in confidence yesterday, too.
Yeah, I know. I had no idea that you were close to moving on it. And then when he said it, I was like, oh my God, just throwing him under the bus. But, hey, waffles are waffles.
Everything he touches is gold. That's all. Everything that my friend touches is gold.
Well, it's more like when he touches it and then he brings his hand back. It's, I don't know.
We're just
I'm just gonna remove myself from the panel. I'll be back in 2 games.
okay. We'll see. All right, we have on the board Daby Cab Braves team total over 4.5. Jose Cash Cow with the Braves -1.5. I'm joining him because I got to get my stink off of this. Let's move on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. We have the Oakland Athletics at the Kansas City Royals. Oakland Athletics now 8 games over 500. Jose's talk of them being a playoff team still relevant. Yeah.
Well, they're just, they just threw out Joey Estes, who we all had faith in, and just got shit all over. Fucking Nutfletch's fucking fishing buddy was one of their fucking pitchers this week.
He was spectacular. Aaron Brooks was very, very good.
What do you want from me? I didn't expect all these injuries to happen so quickly. God damn. It's tough.
I thought Kyle Muller was going to pitch for the great Oakland Athletics. Is that not the case? Is that not
That's a great question. I have no idea. And I've already slandered Nutfletch's fishing buddy too much. So I'm sorry, Nutfletch.
The great Aaron Brooks, who earned this opportunity after a great season in AAA. Not a lot of journeymen get these opportunities. And it is, Ron Crawford says it is Muller. Still undecided officially skip. I'm just going to act as if it's Kyle Muller, who's been coming out of the bullpen. A lefty, 3.90 ERA, 1.16 whip. I'm not really sure why he hasn't got into the starting rotation. You're going to throw Estes out there? May 12th, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 homers, 5 Ks, no walks, 84 loss to the Mariners. And that was when the Mariners started smashing lefties. I'm starting to, good, perfect use of the term. Joe Yurkovich, my friend. Cole Ragans on the other side got lit up and smoked by the Angels. I was not very high on Cole Ragans to start the year. I was the only one. I was like, what are we going to see? When you have a pitcher who's got a 5.6 ERA with one team and then a 2.1 with the team he gets traded to, what's going to happen the following year? Well, it's going to come back to the mean. And so, look at that. Aaron is interested in attending Pubapalooza, though. Batting practice, no helmet. So
that's fine. I'll trust Aaron Brooks to throw BP to me, no problem. I trust him. If it was Daby, I'd be more worried of a fucking 93 going in my fucking eye. So at least, he'll control it.
WT says the Colombians are the best weather reporters. A shout out to
I'd like to contend with that and say my people, my Venezuelan people are the best.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
We used to be one, so we'll take some credit there.
Yeah. The Central American female weather reporters are the best in the world. let's move on to Ragans and the A's versus lefties and the Royals versus lefties. The Royals are hitting 252 versus lefties, but no power, 676 OPS. A's versus lefties, 215, 669 OPS. A's bullpen, 3.41 ERA, 1.20 whip, converted 10 to 15. Royals bullpen, 3.94 ERA, 1.39 whip, converted 14 of 19. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. These A's at Pinnacle right now are minus 195. That's where they opened. They opened at 11:13 a.m. On the total, we are sitting here with a 8.5, minus 109 to the under. Open at minus 100 to the under, 9 cents of movement to the under. Then we have 81 Fahrenheit in Kansas City, 9 miles per hour out to left center, between 9 and 7.9 miles per hour. The cash flow is not going to help us here. 91% of the 2,837 tickets in, 91% of tickets, 99% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. 67% of tickets, 71% cash on the over. Jose Bouquett, any interest here? Nuclear says, try being a weatherman in Canada. We should ban men from telling the weather. Nobody wants to watch a man tell the weather. They should be banned. Take it away, Jose. Here we go.
Yeah, no, that'd be nice. My sister, who used to be a TV reporter, and a lot of people tell me that she's rather attractive. Maybe this is how her way back into it. So shout out to my hot sister. Yeah, I have no action on this game. I got no action on this game though. Cole Ragans, I expect to pitch well, but I just don't trust Kyle Muller here. I enjoy saying that though. It's fun to freak people out and say that my sister is hot. It is. She is. I can't help that. She's an attractive woman. But no action for me. Nasty Nate knows.
Yeah, he does. Cole Ragans, Kyle Muller. I would like to fade Ragans, but I expect him to have a bounce back start here at home. I don't want Cole Ragans or the Royals as this big of a favorite. If it is a bullpen day, we've seen how advantageous that can be. We saw it with the Reds yesterday. I'm going to hold off here, but I actually have some interest. I guess I don't, because it's going to be a bounce back start from Ragans. I guess if I think it's going to be a bounce back start from Ragans, why wouldn't this be an under? So maybe I have a little bit of interest, but it's blowing out. Let's just leave this game alone. Let's bring on our next guest here for best bet time. Before we do, Ron Crawford, our guy Ron Crawford has given us the MLB spreadsheet dog play of the day. It's a new angle for Ron Crawford, MLB spreadsheet dog play of the day, and up 2.33 units. He's on the Angels at plus 147 for Ron Crawford. He is on the Angels at plus 147. Shout out to Ron. Wine Time says Rengifo and Sano expected to be back tonight for the Angels. Have you seen Miguel Sano? He's a completely different person.
I have not. Not.
He's skinny.
Is he skinny?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He is
I didn't know that.
Completely different person. So,
by the way, Jimmy, I've not said one thing on this program that has gotten so many people interested than my sister being hot. So shout out to my sister.
Yeah, no,
she's Instagram famous too. She got fucking like hundreds of thousands of followers. She won an Emmy. Now she's just a fucking housewife. So shout out to her.
I'm going to stay focused on baseball here. Let's bring on our next guest. Best bet time from TJ. We'll see if TJ wants to comment on any of your family members. I will not be doing that. TJ, how are you?
Oh, still good. I have no comment on Jose. I will be texting him later to find out her Instagram page, though.
At Carla Deportes for all you guys that are horny.
What's that in English?
Okay.
Carla Deportes. That's her name. Wait.
Jesus. All right. See, I told you it's gone off the off the rails here. We have Tyler Anderson versus Andrew Heaney, lefties going up against each other in this one. We're in Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. These Angels have been pretty good on the road, 10-12. If you bet them on the money line in every road game, you'd be up handsomely. Texas Rangers 23 and 22, just 11 and 11 at home. They are scuffling. Why? They can't hit lefties. 249, 663 OPS. Their bullpen is trash. The only bullpen that's worse than them statistically really is nobody. But the Angels have a worse ERA, but they're actually probably better overall if you dive into the stats a little more. These are the two worst bullpens in baseball. The Angels are hitting lefties, though, hard. 268, 742 OPS. No Trout, no problem. Tyler Anderson on the bump. He's been very good. 2.92 ERA, 1.14 whip, 36 strikeouts, 19 walks, though. Last start, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk, 9-3 win at home over the Royals. Andrew Heaney coming off a nice start in the thin air of Colorado. This is Andrew Heaney going up against his old team. I can tell you that the memories aren't good. They're not good. They're not
Zero good memories to be found.
Not good. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to shove against this team. Let's take a look at the line history here on this one. We have Heaney at minus 171. Opened up at minus 178. There's been a move in the last 30 minutes. So now an 8-cent move, but there had been no move. 8-cent move. When we get to the total in this one, we have a 9 minus 105 to the under. This opened up plus 104 to the under. So we've had 9 cents of movement towards said under. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 59% of tickets, 59% of cash on the over. We have a move towards the under. We have 85% of tickets, 79% of cash on the Rangers, and finally a move towards them. TJ, take it away. Angels, Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, first thing first, Tyler Anderson is obviously not as good as what his ERA indicates. You know, there's going to be some regression at some point. Will it come today against a Texas team that's, 20th weighted runs created plus last 30 and 23rd last 14? So they're actually trending down with only 79 weighted runs created plus in the last 14 days. They're just not hitting lefties well. The Angels are smashing lefties. They're 14th with 105 weighted runs created plus the last 30 and 128 weighted runs created plus last 14. So do they get to Heaney? I sure think they do. And I think an even more impressive thing is while the Angels bullpen has been bad on the season, in the last 2 weeks, they got a 2.79 Sierra, 199 batting average against, 114 whip. I mean, that's one of the best in baseball, striking out 32% of batters. That's just contagious. They figured it out a little bit. While the Rangers are literally the worst bullpen in baseball last 14 days. 8.42 ERA, 5.33 Sierra, almost a 2.0 whip. That's absolutely terrible. So I see where Ron's coming from with his play of the day. No Trout, no problem, like you were saying. I'm going to be on the Angels +1 though. I'm still getting plus money at +1. Gives me a little bit of safety there, kind of like the -1 lines. I was able to. I used Circa's numbers. Let's see what I pulled up. I used Circa's numbers and I came out with a +109. That's a 159 on the money line and -130 on the +1.5. So +109 on the Angels full game, +1 is what I'm going with.
Wow. The corner of Ron Crawford and TJ Boulevard, spreadsheet and TJ Boulevard. Angels +1 at +109. What do you think of this spot? Jose Bouquett, take it away.
Yeah, nothing really stood out to me, unfortunately, about this game. Nothing I had enough confidence to move on. The Rangers at this price, I think, were a little excessive, but the Angels have just been so bad. So no action for me. But I will say, Jimmy, you're doing a great job today staying focused. Everything's being thrown your direction today, and you just held strong. So shout out to you.
Oh, God bless you, Jose, and your sister.
I lied, by the way. It's Carla Traveler now, not Deportes. She's not a sports person anymore. Carla Traveler. So shout out to Carla.
Oh, she changed her name to something we can understand. I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
Jeffrey Moore, impressed that your sister won an Emmy.
Yeah, she did. I was shocked too. And it was on a sports thing too. So yeah, shout out to her.
So both of Ron and TJ on the Angels here. Can I get there? By the way, it starts this game. It'll be the roof will be closed. It's at 82 at first pitch, so it's supposed to be closed. Can I get here to the Angels? I kind of like it. Kind of like it. Okay, I'm gonna I might get there. I'm gonna need to spend a little bit more time on this, but Angels may end up on with my action. Lamont Williams, Baltimore money line for our guy Lamont Williams. All right, let's roll. TJ, will be back returning to us here shortly for
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Apologies. I do have to run. I thought this would be done by 2, but I gave out the Dodger. I gave out the Dodger play first 5 over 4.5 at -120 earlier in the chat.
Yes.
So we won't get into that game now, but if you could put that as my official action. And then good luck, guys. I got to run.
What about Rockies Giants? Did you want to give your action for it?
Crap, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I'm on the Rockies money line.
TJ, Rockies.
I believe in Ryan Feltner.
Wow. You know what? Let's document that because not many people on this say those words in that string of a sentence.
Put it on my grave if they don't win this game tonight.
Rockies.
Okay.
Jesus.
Done. This is the version of the retirement bet. The put it on my grave bet.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
Wow, that is a good one. Okay, so +130 for TJ on the Rockies money line. TJ, thank you for all of this, my man. And we're going to be done NHL and NBA here shortly, so this won't be going past 2 p.m. Eastern. But love it, TJ. Thank you for rocking with us, my man. We'll see you again next week, and let's go get that cash. I'll review all of your action at the end of the show. Please support TJ on X. We're also trying to figure out what should TJ's handle be. We want him to change his handle from
TJ Deportes.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. What should TJ's handle be? I'm going to copy and paste this right now. This is TJ's Twitter handle. Please follow him, and we will figure out what we're going to rename him. TJ.
I was going to say a lot of my cousins would start following you if you were TJ Deportes. You could open up a new demographic, TJ.
Okay. That sounds appealing. That sounds appealing. TJ, any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
No, you'll just have to tell me how to spell that, Jose, and it'll be good.
Okay.
Appreciate the time. Sorry I had to run, and we'll catch up next week.
Respect. There he is, TJ in the house.
You know what's amazing, Jimmy? If this is something I learned, if you're from Venezuela and you just throw a Venezuelan flag on your, Twitter bio, it's just like light, and the Venezuelans start flocking like flies. You start getting followed by a bunch of people from Venezuela. I'm like, what the hell? It's amazing what a little emoji will do.
Well, it's a fantastic tale, whimsical, exciting,
sure,
climax, denouement, everything that you could ask for in a tale.
Yeah, 3 parts.
But we are capping baseball here, 8:10 p.m. Eastern. We have best bet time once again from our guy, Dabra Cadabra. Daby Cab, my man, jump on with us. We have Brewers, Astros, and I know you are making moves here at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. The Astros were very good to us yesterday. I got in live, which saved me because I pushed the over 9, cashed the first 5 over, and then lost the A's team total. So I would have lost a little bit of cash had I not moved on the over 6.5 heading into the bottom of the third when they erupted on young Estes. Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Now the Astros still 11-12 at home. We got Freddie Peralta versus Hunter Brown. I tell you what I want to do. I want to believe that Hunter Brown is a good pitcher. I want to so badly. If the Astros are going to keep throwing him out there, I know he's a character guy, heart and soul guy. I want to back him. I want to back him so badly. He finally had a good start. Now, it was just 5 innings, but 7 strikeouts, no walks, and an 8-2 loss to the Tigers. Is it possible that we could be ahead of the market by supporting Hunter Brown going up against Freddie Peralta, who's had a good season, 3-1, 3.63 ERA, 1.05 whip, 58 Ks and 44 2/3, 16 walks and 4 home runs. 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk, and the 5-3 win at home over the Cardinals. But the Brewers hit righties very hard, 264, 772. The Astros hit righties hardish, and they're on their way to hitting them harder. 257, 724 OPS. Astros bullpen's been much better of late. Now 4.24 ERA, 1.35 whip, converted 7 of 16. And the Brewers bullpen has been mediocre all season long. Now those mediocre numbers are much better than the Astros numbers. And despite injuries, their back end is pretty strong, converting 15 of 20 saves. Let's get into the line history here on this one. We have the total at 8 at a pick'em. This opened up at 8.5. We have a half-run move to the under. Let's get into the money line. The money line in this one, we have the Astros at minus 105. They opened up at plus 112. 17 cents of movement. Dog to favorite. Well, this is all in my wheelhouse. Now let's see what the cash flow is for this one. Cash-wise, here we go. 43% of the ticket, 72% of cash on the Brewers. Line moving towards the Astros. Again, I like everything I'm seeing here. And on the total here, we have 77% of tickets, 77% of cash on the over, and yet it's dropped a half run. Take it away for us here, Daby Cab, Brewers, Astros.
Yeah, I like some of what you told me on those numbers, not with the total, but with the sides I do. You look at Peralta, 3-1 with 3.63 ERA, a 1.05 whip. So, he's been great this year. His last start, he gave up 3 runs, 8 hits, and 6 innings. That was the 5-3 win over the Cardinals. His last couple starts, he's given up 3 runs in each of his last 2 starts. And if you look at his last 2 road starts, he's given up 8 runs in both of those. And we talked about the Astros. They're getting hot. We said, it was over a week ago now when I said, go get those futures in. I got one in myself here. I think they're clearly the best team in the division, and I think they're just going to keep winning and keep, we're by the end of this season, the beginning of the year is not even going to be a thought with how the Astros started. They've won 5 in a row here. Brewers are hot also, won their last 2 games, but with the way the Astros are hitting the baseball on the season, I've been saying it, even though they've been terrible, they're the number one. They got the number 1 average in all of baseball. Let me pull this up really quick. I think it's 261. They're hitting 261 as a team. They got the number 1 batting average, on base percentage 328. They put up 200 runs, which is 12th in Major League Baseball this year. I just think this is a spot, Jimmy, where Peralta's given up a couple runs here. He's done it in his last few starts. This Houston offense is hot. They're at home. I think they're going to get some off Peralta, and I think they get a few off the bullpen. I took the Astros team total over 3.5, and I really like it. It's my favorite bet on the board today, even though all I do is give out best bets. This would be my best bet.
Team total over 3.5. Did you tweet this out too?
Yes, I did. Minus 126.
Minus 126 for Astros team total over 3.5. Ron Crawford says Brewers first 5 no-brainer. Brewers 15-7 first 5. For me to have like no-brainer, low-hanging fruit, the market has to be going in their direction, and they have to have bigger bets placed on them, all that stuff. When it's the opposite, I think we can take advantage of people thinking that it's a no-brainer. When you say Ron Crawford Brewers first 5 no-brainer, maybe it is your spreadsheet play today, because we just have your dog spreadsheet play today. I want to be on the Astros here. I want to be on the Astros, and I like the under as well. I'm not entirely sure how to back this, and it scares me backing Hunter Brown, but what we've seen in these in primetime, saying Hunter Brown came in against the Tigers and looked good, but it's the Tigers. But we've seen when baseball teams stick by a pitcher for a long period of time, not send them down or not put them into the bullpen, they usually get right. Now it's if you trust the Astros brass. Jose, take it away. Brewers, Astros.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay off this game sidewise. I've been waffling back and forth here, as some would say, on the side. I initially did want the Brewers, but the market's kind of thrown me off. Now, this line opened up in a lot of different places on different books, which is very interesting. Example, Bet Online opened this minus 113 Milwaukee. Bovado opened this minus 128 Milwaukee. Bookmaker 125, and Heritage minus 117. Was Pinnacle saying the same thing basically? Or did it open up closer?
Much closer. This opened up at I believe it's minus 10. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I was thinking about the Astros side of things. Yeah, opened up at 4:14 p.m. yesterday, minus 121. Now minus 103.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes me want to bet the Astros. I think so. I think instead of betting the under in this game, like I want to, I think I'll just take the Astros money line here. I think it will be a lower scoring game if Freddie's good. The only reason why I guess I'm not on the under as well, the thing that scares me, and Hunter Brown has had his moments of being really bad this year. Brewers this year, full season, are third against righties, 121 weighted runs created plus. Sixth this month, 116 weighted runs created plus. But that market move is seems like it's a very indicative one, especially with more money on the Brewers still, and the line's moving towards the Astros. So obviously in the chat, let me know what you guys are on, but I'm pretty close to making the Astros official.
So the only thing that on this one we were talking about earlier, what I haven't bet yet, is you can get plus 120 all the way up to plus 130 for Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 total bases. I know he didn't get any hits yesterday. I am very likely going to bet that. If I bet that, I'm not going to tweet it out until about 6 or 6:30. So be paying attention because it'll come out right before the game.
Okay, cool. And that, yeah, if you tag us, that'll be official. I'm going to be on the Astros. I'm with Justin McKelvey. I'm going to be on the Astros. I think I'm going to be on the under too.
Cab, I highly recommend tweeting that play out. Just for your sake, I highly recommend it.
I'll be okay, Jose.
All right. And 20 coming. I hope it comes for you.
Best bet in from our guy Daby Cab. So we have best bet action from Daby Cab. He's on the Astros team total over 3.5. Oh, and I put the juice there. Sorry, at minus 126. He is on the Braves team total over 4.5 at minus 116, and he is on. Oh, that's it. That's it, right? That's it.
Alvarez over 1.5 bases plus 130. I'm probably going to be on that today, just so you know. I just want to look at some stuff.
No, as you should. Take your time, as you should.
I know it will cash. We know it's going to cash now. So shout out to you,
Daby Cab. Thank you for your time. Can you jump on our Preakness show tomorrow and give us some baseball looks? Because you and Jose will be going to town, and afterwards jump on and let us know your plan. Yeah, I'd love to do that, man. We'll find some live looks too. That's one thing. I know baseball might not be as exhilarating as other sports to watch live, but for me, it's a great opportunity to make money. So I'd love to jump on and do some live betting with you guys. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's do it. There's our guy, Daby Cab, star of Medicate Mondays, every Monday at 11 a.m. here on Pub Sports Radio. Daby Cab, any last words for the Capper Sporting Show? Man, let's get paid today, man. Shout out to you guys, Lee Davis, Lamont, Rance, Justin, our guy Stacks in there, Jeffrey. Good to see you, man. Let's make some money. It's a good Friday to get paid. Jimmy, I'll be right back here tomorrow with Jose and then back here with you also. So I'll see you guys soon, man. I love it. There he is, Dabra Cadabra. Lee Davis says, hasn't Brown fallen behind all of his starts? Might be worth waiting for a live spot. The whole idea here is to be ahead of the market on under Brown. And, that could blow up, in our face. But that's the plan, be ahead of the market. So I like the Astros and I like the under here. All right, we roll on, and we got out of Ron Crawford. The spreadsheet play today is Jose and Nasty Nate's Boston Red Sox. Red Sox 22-22, 12-9 on the road. Great road team and great bullpen. At St. Louis Cardinals 18-25, 6-11 at home. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's take a look at the weather in St. Louis. So St. Louis, 72 Fahrenheit, 4.5 miles per hour, right to left. And then it becomes out. So it goes right across the diamond at first, then it comes out. But it's very light, 4.1. Let's get into the line history here. We have the total at 8.5. Let's start there. And it's back down to 8. So that was the only book that was showing an 8.5 was Pinnacle. This opened up at 8, minus 109 to the under. And then it moves to 8.5 at 10:30 this morning. It stays at 8.5 until 30 minutes ago. Back at 8. We have still had 11 cents of movement to the over. Kong's Clips, a cricket play today. Chennai Super Kings, money line -110. And Rocco Rogers says, I'm a little behind the video, but something I want to point out for the Astros game, Brown's barrel rate extremely low, one of the lowest of any starting pitching, even though his hard hit percentage is up. Oh, interesting. Oh, even though his hard hit percentage is mediocre. He shouldn't be giving up many long balls in the future. There's a reason why he's being thrown out there every 5 days. I think we can be ahead of the market, but this could also, screw me. Let's go here, though. Red Sox, Cardinals, and we hear that Ron is on these Red Sox and Brian Bayo. Let's take a look at the line history. We just talked about this total going. It's still at 8, but there's 11 cents of movement to the over. On the line history, we have Gibson and the Cards at -105. They opened up at -103. So we've had 2 cents of movement towards the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's get into the cash flow. 86% of tickets, 84% of the cash on the over. There still has been 11 cents of movement, but it came back from the 8.5. It came back, but it again, 11 cents of movement still. Red Sox have 63% of tickets and 75% of the cash, and the line's not going, market's not moving towards them. We've seen this with Kyle Gibson starts, Jose, and they've paid us out. And in the ones we've lost, if we had just taken the team total under on the opposition, we would have cashed. When the market says Kyle Gibson's going to have a good start, he has a good start. Coming off a 5-3 loss at the Brewers, he went 5 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, and 4 walks. He battles. Brian Bayo coming off similar numbers in a 3-2 win at home over the Nationals, but now he heads out on the road. But Bayo's been very good this year. 4-1, 3.13 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Red Sox versus righties, 242, 717 OPS. Cardinals versus righties, poor at 237, 681 OPS. Red Sox bullpen's very good. This Cardinals bullpen's been pretty good too. 3.99 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, converted 14 of 18. Take it away, your Red Sox in play, Jose.
Yeah, I just moved on the Astros, by the way, -105 full game. We'll rock and roll there. And
Frank also. Do you see this? Frank also. So we have a spreadsheet play today and Frank moving on the Red Sox. Keep going, Jose.
Yeah. So I have not done this often this year. But I'm going to bet against the market here. I'm going to take the Boston Red Sox. First of all, happy birthday, Brian Bayo. He's pitching on his birthday, so that'll be very interesting to see. But the Red Sox just lost 3 of 4 against the Tampa Bay Rays, a not good ball club. And I think they're going to play a worse team now in St. Louis today. Kyle Gibson, by the way, I didn't know Kyle Gibson went to Missouri, so kind of at home.
One thing I need to mention as you continue, though, Frank says that Red Sox opened up at +110. They did. They did at Bet Online. So, again, it depends on what you want to focus on. Bet Online first to the market, open up the Red Sox at +110 with limits. Now at -111. So that is a 21-cent move. So they open up at 2:47 p.m. with the Red Sox at +110. 10 minutes later, the Red Sox are at even money. 21 minutes after that, they're at -103. 31 minutes after that, they're at -109. That whole process of 19 cents of movement took an hour and 2 minutes. And again, that was still before Pinnacle came out with the line. So what does that tell me, Frank? That tells me that at plus money, at +110, the implied probability of all that, the Red Sox had value there. At this number, I'm not sure if they do, and the market's saying that it's sort of coin flippy. But very, very important note. Thank you for sharing that, Frank. I didn't know that it started out at that number. Take it away, Jose. Sorry.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox, though. I took them full game money line. I think Bayo pitches well. I think the Bats can have some success off Kyle Gibson, who's not the best, but he's been pretty solid this year. His last few starts, he's given up 2 earned runs. Before that, he was on a 1-run streak. He's been pitching well. And like I just kind of mentioned, I didn't realize he went to Missouri. So he's kind of back home in his semi-stopping ground. So I'm sure he's comfortable there as well. So, but this Cardinals team is just not good at the end of the day. I don't trust this Cardinals team. I just think the Red Sox are a better squad with one of our best pitchers on the bump on his birthday. I like all the vibes. Red Sox full game money line -109 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Jose, Ron Crawford, and Frank all on the Red Sox here. So you're betting on Bayo, not against Gibson.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think this is a necessarily fading Kyle Gibson here. I just, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was like a, I don't know, like 5-3 kind of ball game. Red Sox win, something like that. It'll be pretty close throughout, and I think it'll be rather lower scoring.
All right. You are locked in, and Doug says Cardinals are trash. I've got to sit with this for longer here. Jose, Ron Crawford, Frank Rotacco, all on the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. And by the way, Mikey obviously has this great angle with the Cardinals' first game of a series. When they're favored, they're especially shitty. And I guess you could say they opened up as favorites here, and then it's flipped. So just make that note. But it's not a perfect fit. But I'll fade the Cardinals here.
You got it. You are locked in. Next up for us, we have the Detroit Tigers at the Arizona Diamondbacks, and we have reached and Nutflush On says Cards Undoing Project last few games facing weak pitchers in Los Angeles. Here we have the taint on the under 8 at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Tariq Skubal versus Ryan Nelson.
Tariq Skubal is like the gem in your rotation.
It's changing. It's changing. He's being overvalued, I think, in the marketplace. So it's starting to change. I kind of like.
Oh no!
I like pitchers who are not respected, like Hunter Brown. I kind of like
no Cy Young Award winners or finalists on your rotation.
Oh, I want to find the God, I can't even too many numbers. But I want to
find the Aaron Brooks out there.
No, I can find him. I just got to head down
on Nutflush's boat.
Yeah, but I want to find a pitcher that I think is better than his numbers indicate. Not saying that Tariq Skubal isn't, but his numbers are excellent. The first thing we need to know about this, though, is the roof is closed. We expect the roof to be closed, and right now the information is closed. So for you guys capping, Friday closed, Saturday closed, Sunday closed, that we know. Yes, Clark Schmidt, God, he looked so good. And I was on the Twins.
Clark Schmidt is on the rotation, yeah.
I screwed up too because I got that under 10.5, which was glorious, but I also took that Twins plus 3.5, so I did lose a little bit of vig. I didn't handle that perfectly. Let's go Skubal versus Ryan Nelson. Let's take a look at the line history here on this one. We have the total at 8 minus 109 to the under. It opened up at plus 102 to now minus 111 to the under. So 13-cent move to the under. Let's get into the money line. On the money line, we have, that's not Pinnacle. Sorry. We have Arizona Diamondbacks at plus 119. They opened up at plus 138. A huge move to the Diamondbacks. The Tigers have gone from minus 150 to minus 129. Just a monster move. Skubal's last start, 6 1/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, 2 walks, and 8-2 win at home over the Astros. 2.02 ERA, 0.86 whip. I mean, he's a phenomenal pitcher. We know that. Ryan Nelson is not. 5.33 ERA, 1.70 whip, but it's hard not to notice the line move towards the Diamondbacks, and it has to be predicated on the fact that Diamondbacks smash lefties. 299, 836 OPS, while the Tigers are 224, 667 OPS. And DC Capper on Detroit, minus 142. Tigers bullpen 3.17 ERA, 1.18 whip, converted 12 of 22 save opportunities. They're very good. Diamondbacks bullpen 4.33 ERA, 1.39 whip, have converted 9 of 19 save opportunities. Let's take a look at that cash flow for this one. So this has 67% of the tickets and 71% of cash on the Tigers, and lines moving to the Diamondbacks. Wow. I don't think I can do it. I mean, I hear and I see clearly this market moving towards the Diamondbacks with Ryan Nelson on the hill and all the money on the Tigers. I just don't know if I can do it. Only 11% of tickets and 12% of the cash on the under. And this under has gone 13 cents towards the under. Jesus. The market is telling us that Ryan Nelson's going to have a good start. Take it away for us here, Jose, Tigers, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it's Diamondbacks or pass. I'm not on the Diamondbacks. We talked about earlier in the program how they're one of the best hitting teams against lefties. Skubal, arguably the best lefty in the game right now, so this should be an interesting one. I lean again, dog and under here, but I didn't move on this game. Think it'll be. I'll be a little annoyed if the Diamondbacks jump on. If I jump on the Diamondbacks, or sorry, if I don't jump on the Diamondbacks and they win, but I'd be even more annoyed if I did bet them and they lost, going against Skubal, who I've been high on all year, and Ryan Nelson, who is dubious. So I agree with you. The market seems like it's saying that Ryan Nelson's going to have a great start and the Diamondbacks win this game.
That's what it is saying. Ryan Nelson's last start at home versus Padres against a team that can't hit lefties at all, they raked him. 8 hits over 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 11-4 victory. The home start before that, he was excellent against the Cardinals. That we only have 2 home starts for him. Coming off facing the Orioles, who smashed lefties in Baltimore, and he pitched pretty well. Huh. Well, the under has to be bet. Because you have to, you have to. I completely agree it's Diamondbacks or pass. I do not want to go up against Skubal and back Ryan Nelson, but that's just the only way you can possibly move on it. Nutplush says, why is this number not 7? That's primetime says Skubal isn't just another lefty. And look, this doesn't concern DC Capper. Madadi says Skubal regression coming. I think he might just be the best lefty in the AL.
I mean, he's going to be a top 5 Cy Young finisher this year. When's the last time? Well, actually, you could just say Verlander and Scherzer, but when's the last time Detroit? There we go. Had a top 5 Cy Young winner. I mean, it's going to be a while, and it's going to be Verlander and Scherzer from 2013, I'm sure. So
the under, I'm going to be moving on this one. So I am there with Taint. Taint and I are on the under. All right, let's roll. And Picks from Dave says, calm down, Jose. It's May. Let's move on to the final 2 spots on the board. And we got best bets from TJ. TJ said early in the show, lock in Cincinnati, LA, first 5 over 4.5 minus 120. Says it will be 5 before he comes to discuss it. And Justin McKelvey is on Shohei Ohtani, RBI, at plus 123. We have Reds Dodgers facing each other after the Dodgers no-show yesterday. Perfectly predicted by a bunch of you guys in the chat. Jose,
yep,
Nick Earl, and Nutflush Allen. We have Paxton and the Dodgers sitting at minus 183. They opened up at minus 208. 25 cents of movement away from them. Big move again to the Cincinnati Reds. Now we see teams under 500 roll in to LA and sweep them, right? The Rays.
Yes, we have.
The Rays.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Let's get into.
Someone did it to them last year too. That was really bad. I forgot who already.
Yeah, it was the Pirates again, wasn't it?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah. So shout out to the Pirates.
This total opened up at 9. It's now. It was heavily juiced to the under then, and it's now at 8.5, juiced to the under. And then when we get to the cash flow here, we have 25% of tickets and 60% of cash on the under. So big bets have come in on the under. And then on the money line, we are sitting here with 92% of tickets and 76% of cash on the Dodgers. I imagine this is the spot here. Doug saying it's 72 degrees here today. Gorgeous in LA. It's 62 at first pitch, 9 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 6.5. Take it away, Jose. Is this the dog that you had spoken of? Oh,
no, it is not. I'm not on this game. I got my Dodgers Reds money. I'll sneak out the back door and be happy with my victory. I don't want to try to fade the Dodgers on back-to-back days here. Sure, again, we've seen it happen plenty of times, but I need more value to fade the Dodgers here. So no action for me, but shout out to the minus 300 fade. It always comes through for us.
Reds hitting 229, 675 versus lefties. Paxton coming off that great start against the Padres, a team that doesn't hit lefties. That got to Ryan Nelson. 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 Ks in that 5-0 win at the Padres. Paxton looking good. Big Maple looking good.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about the Dodgers is that at some point they'll tell him to go take like a month break or something like that, and then he'll be fresh to go for the stretch run in the playoffs, and he'll actually be good because he'll wear down eventually because he did it with the Red Sox, and he looks solid to start off. But yeah, shout out to him.
Lamont Williams on the over in the Mets game. Thank you for sharing that with us, Lamont, my man. Frankie Montas, Nuff says Reds went and enjoyed the LA nightlife after being the pre-crowned World Series champs. Smurf smash spot.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I could see the Dodgers winning this game, but I just didn't want any action on it. And by the way, Rem, I still have my Tupa Chica Marcano jersey in my closet. The Rays and Pirates are still there. I still love them.
Yeah. And where do we need to go to get that autographed?
Just fucking AAA, where Altoon, wherever Tupa Kika. I can't even say his fucking name. But yeah, wherever he is now. But he might be in Altoon. Yeah. Let's do a quick fan graph search. Where is my guy?
All right, I'm off of that spot here. DC on the Dodgers -1.5. Justin McKelvey on the over 8.5. Nuke seeing the same thing as me with this market move towards the Dodgers, but Nuff Allen backing them. Where are they?
You'll be happy to know he's no longer in the Pirate system. Obviously, he's with the Padres now, and he is on the IL with a knee injury. So shout out to him. By the way, I'm 2 years older than Tuca Pika as well, so that's weird. But shout out to him.
We have one game left, and then we are racing thoroughbreds. It's all thoroughbred races while we're in the Triple Crown season.
These kind?
No, not those. No, not that kind. But I'm happy you have that ready to go for us tomorrow. This horse racing show. We have 10:15 p.m. Eastern action. TJ's on the Rockies money line at +130. The problem is that the Rockies have won 7 straight and they're switching cities.
The Rockies have won 7 straight?
And they're switching cities. And I want to fade them badly. And this huge market move towards the Rockies, of course. All these guys have made so much money. Yeah, Lamont. Yeah, I mentioned it, my man. Yes, Ron Crawford. We opened with NHL and NBA, my man.
Fuck. But yeah, no, this was the ugly dog, unfortunately. Fuck.
I want to fade all of this. But how do I do it? NHL spreadsheet play day, Florida. I'd love to hear it, Ron. How do I do it? I got to figure out what the hell to do here. I think Feltner is an up-and-coming pitcher. I think the Rockies pitching staff and bullpen are way better than we thought they were going to be. NBA spreadsheet play day on the Knicks +5.5. The Knicks. So I am going to now the switching cities on 7-game winning streaks 1 and 2 this year. It won't end up under. Harrison is just bet on. He could have got out of that first inning where he allowed 3 earned runs. I truly, truly believe he's a bet on pitcher. 3.42 ERA, 1.26 whip. The Rockies don't hit lefties, 247, 676 OPS. The Giants don't hit righties. Excuse me, 235, 670 OPS. The Giants bullpen has not looked good, but they've had some bad luck. 4.90 ERA, 1.38 whip, converted 7 of 13. Let's get into the line history, and then we race horses. Everybody. It's all of us in one race, Jose. But let's go. Let's make it a long one. Let's go 2 minutes. Do a 2-minute long one. This total is at 7.5 at -121. Take a look at the weather here. And sorry. Here we go. The weather in Frisco, 9.2 miles per hour to left center. It dies down to 7.8, 55 Fahrenheit. We have a 15-cent move to the under.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Skeens just struck out the side. Fuck. Yeah.
Then he's a real deal. And we have this monstrous move. I mean, there couldn't be a bigger move to the Rockies. I'd like to get in the way of it, which I never do. And I don't know if I've done all year. I don't think I have done all year. Giants opened up -178. They're now -135. All these guys cashing Rockies 7 straight times. I'd like to get in the way of it. But clearly the market's saying that Ryan Nelson's going to have a good start.
And this is the first game after Dodgers Giants as well for the Giants.
But there was the day off for the Giants.
It's true. I'm on the Rockies. This is the ugly dog. That is the ugly dog. All that money on the Giants, it's moved. I didn't realize the Rockies were on a 7-game win streak, obviously, and the changing cities does not help me here. But I think the Rockies are in this game, and I think they win it. So I took them full game money line. I got, to be exact here, give me 1 second. I got plus 127 for me. My first two bets of the day were the under in the Cubs game and the Rockies here. Again, I'm restating what you said. Basically, 81% of the bets, 91% of the money on the Giants, and we moved to the Rockies here pretty dramatically. This opened up at minus 180 at Bet Online. Now we're down to under minus 140.
God, I cannot bet into that.
So yeah, I'm on the Rockies. I understand that it's not the most appealing thing, 7 games, switching cities, etc. But you know what's going to be even funnier is that the Rockies have this movement on them, and I guarantee you they're one of the worst teams against lefties as well. Full season, they're 27th, 77 weighted runs created plus, and just this month they are 23rd, 81. So. Yeah, it doesn't make sense X's and O's wise why the market would be moving towards the Rockies here. So I will gladly take it.
Then I will just take the first 5 under. I'm going to have to get off of this. Make sure I can get a 4. And I can. Okay. All right. I'm going to take the first 5 under in this one. And not,
Justin.
I guess I got to stay off of that trend. I can't do it. Stake bet.
Yeah, Justin wants it. He's already down a stake, Justin. I'm down.
All
Justin, I'm down. I'm assuming you're taking the Giants, Justin?
Oh, you can assume, right?
Everybody in the audience, now listen to me carefully, is being given a special package, and I don't want you to open it. Do not open it. Cameras are on you, so do not open until I tell you. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
You get a steak. 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 Everybody gets a steak.
Let's review all action before we race horses. We have Jose on the under 7.5 in Pirates Cubs. Got to feel good about that spot. Jose's on the first 5 under 4, as am I, in Washington, Philadelphia. That's the only action I had coming in. Then we have White Sox, Yankees. We stayed off. I'm doubling up on the Mariners. Seattle, first 5 in full game. TJ's on the over 8 and minus 119 in Tampa, Toronto. We are off that spot as we're off Twinkies, Guardians. I'm going to be on the first 5 under and full game under in New York, Miami. I'm joining the cash cow with Jose and Troy on the Atlanta Braves on the run line. And Cab is on the Braves, team total over 4.5 minus 116. A's, Royals, we stayed off. TJ on the Angels +1. Ron Crawford, Angels spreadsheet dog play of the day, and I'm going to be involved with them. Astros and the under. Cabs on the Astros, team total over 3.5. And Jose's on the Red Sox. Ron Crawford is on the Red Sox. And Frank Ritaco says Red Sox are his best bet.
Let's go, Frank.
Taint play today, the under 8 in Arizona. I am joining him there. And then Stacks play today's Ohtani RBI. TJ is on Cincinnati LAD first 5 over 4.5. TJ's on the Rockies. Jose's on the Rockies. And I'm on the first 500. So I don't have a very big card, which is a bit of a relief. I have had a ton of action so far this week. So a ton of action. The I'm a Gamble Till I Die plays of the day, making its debut today for our guy Lit Picks. Phillies team total over 4.5, and the Nats. Philly over team total over 4.5 and minus 1.5. There we go for Lit Picks. Locked in Lit Picks. Billy Friedrich says Hendrick's about to get dusted here. We do it for spite. Long live spite.
Long live spite.
Can you go over your action? Did I miss anything with your action, or did I have it all?
I don't think so. I think you got everything. The under in the Cubs game, 7.5. So shout out. Rockies full game money line plus 127. Under in the Phillies Nationals game, first 5 there, 4 minus 115. Under in Miami Marlins Mets, under 7.5 minus 115. Braves minus 1.5, cash cow, and Astros Red Sox money lines there respectfully. Oh, they're not going to get the double play, but we'll get one out. So we're rocking and rolling in Chicago right now.
I have copied and pasted Frank's action. And shout out to our guy, Caden Allen, in class right now.
Shout out.
Tuning in for the horse races. Turning 17 tomorrow. Could be a huge weapon for Team USA at next year's Pubapalooza.
Yeah, he's getting the call up straight from juniors too. It's crazy. We've never seen a prospect like this for the United States.
If you had Caden, is there any chance the Canadians have?
With Nutfla, or sorry, with Caden and Ick, no, they'd have no shot. With me and Caden, yes, they do have a shot.
Well, you are going to be there. It'd be you, Caden, and Nick at this point. We'd have at least 3-on-3, so we'd have to find another knucklehead to join.
I'm sure it won't be hard to find a Canadian that wants to golf with us. But worst case, I'm just cameraman. But shout out to Gokster, Ick, and all those guys as well. Great times.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Shout out to our guy Caden, turning 17 tomorrow. It is time to race horses. We are 2 minutes of horse racing action. If you want to see real horse racing, tomorrow, baby, the Freakness.
What are you? Whoa, real?
Well,
this is the reals of the gifts.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I have not had a good run on the Triple Crowns, and that ends tomorrow. Ever since Maximum Security got DQ'd, I've been taking it right in the old bottom mouth. Bottom mouth, a nice term for Caden to use at school. Very clean, and nobody knows what you're talking about.
Food pussy, not as clean.
No, food pussy will not work. It will not work at school.
Not as clean. No. Skunt, I think you can get away with.
Once. You can get away with it once. Here we go, Jose. You call the first minute. I bring us home. We have how many going up for $50 today?
75 caballos.
I'm that
very
heat.
Interesting.
Are you in America? If you're in America, just sign up for a TVG account because then you get all of the races. You don't even need to put money in. But then you're using the tote. I would sign up for a TVG account if I was in America. Okay.
What is tote?
Tote? Sorry?
Yeah, what does that mean?
That means you get what's happening at the track. You don't have fixed odds. Like you can't, at certain books you can get in on fixed odds depending, New Corker, look at that. I'll donate back if I win. Look at that. New Corker, we have another horse now that will give $100 race possibility. Saturate says, do they allow 75 horse races in Canada? No, they do not. No, they do not.
What?
They do not. Jose, take us home, my man. Take a one-way ticket home.
Let's go, guys. Shout out to everyone. I'm that heat. Rod Z, Matty Ice all made their debuts last time out. Excited to see how it goes. 2 minutes on the clock. We're racing in San Antonio. Oh my God, Tori starting out fast, and there he goes. Ron Crawford, chosen one. Tori all started off hot, all falling out. Oh look, old nasty Nate.
Oh well, we know
the
that's
mix here as well.
Crystal Craig making a big move. Love to see Crystal Craig get in the winner's circle.
Oh boy, this is 1 minute and 35 seconds left. Truth Teller in the mix. Dutch Boy fresh and poking his nose in the league with Crystal Craig. Preston Echdal already won this week. Gerald Jones, Big Show picks, and watch out for that nasty Nate horse trying to battle his way here. 1 minute and 20 left on the race. Who's taking it home today, chat? Don't forget to root on your favorite horse in the chat as well. I have been proven if you type Insanities in the chat to your race horse, he will run faster. Guaranteed. Minute left. Nasty Nate still in the mix. Come on, Nate. Take it home, Jimmy.
Old E making the move, but Randall Sheffield has the lead at this point. Little Domo on the far. Here comes Cody Norton. And there goes Cody Norton. But Rico Lopez making a power move as well. Kong's Clips trying to get in the winner's circle for the first time. Fat Wally with a cup of coffee up in front, but now moving backwards. Seth Porter and Juan Chavez also make a move. Here comes Tory Coker. Oh, and there goes Tory Coker. Every time we say his name, he starts moving backwards. 30 seconds left still. We have 2 furlongs left. And there goes Ron Crawford. Ron Crawford trying to separate himself from the group with just a furlong left to go. But here comes Jeff Slaughter. Jeff Slaughter and Mikey Money and the Nuke Worker. Nuke Worker says he's going to give it back. Is this his chance to get paid in full? Ron Crawford trying to find the wire. And here comes Gerald Jones, Kent Davies. A lot of late pace here. Matty Ice on the inside. Matty Ice powering on the inside. Smoking mirrors with a giant move. Oh, and Jeff Slaughter wins. Wow. And Juan Ruiz would have won his 3rd victory to tie Joey Hart, but he comes 2nd. Wow. Jeff Slaughter, your champion, which means, Jose, what does it mean?
That was exciting shit there. $100 Thursday. Now, $100 Thursday is coming this Thursday. My gosh, this is going to be exciting. And, again, my favorite part of these races. Let's scroll down and see where our guy
Nate,
Nasty Nate,
oh God,
ended up. Oh no,
Jesus,
oh no,
oh God, no,
oh no,
oh no.
39th.
There he is, 39th. Not a bad
39th.
showing. Not a bad showing.
39th.
TJ
That's
Parks,
not bad.
yesterday's winner, comes 44th. In Nutflush Island, nonplussed. We did not see his horse in that race, did we?
No, he's in there though. No plush. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
You were in there. That's ugly stuff here. But God bless you guys that tune in for the horse races now on Thursday. Much more interesting. Must watch. $100.
I love Crystal Craig. Says, can always count on my horse to completely disappear after a strong start. Crystal Craig. Crystal Craig, we're going to be doing it up here in Toronto, getting the Toronto Cappers together at Woodbine. So we'll be setting that up. We're talking to Gokster about the right time of year. We're thinking late July at this point. We want to get the squad all together. Let's review all action here. But, let's talk about a couple things. We're doing, we've got a GoFundMe that the Turner family has started for Turnsey and his son, who had a very difficult epilepsy diagnosis. That just came out of left field, and trying to get the seizures under control. So that's very, very important. And the cycle of life, we talk about the difficulties that we're facing, and we talk about them. We don't hide from them. We talk about them. But we also need to celebrate the great stories as well. And Robert Franklin, our guy, welcoming his baby girl, Aria Rose Franklin, to his family. Congratulations to the Franklin family. A wonderful, wonderful news, man. Congratulations. And so sweet. Then we have a lot of action. Also, Caden Allen, Nutflush's son, birthday tomorrow, turning 17. Let's review all action here. And Nasty Nate cashing the Nerfy in the Pirates game. Great job. Frank Grataco has been running real nice here. He has got Pacers and Stars for his big dime bets, and for his nickel, Red Sox. For other action here, Razor Sharp Picks has given us his Black Eyed Susan pick. Copy and paste this right here. Black Eyed Susan for Razor Sharp Picks is the 8 to win 368 exacta and try box. Jay Smooth, Parlay Ortiz and the Brewers money line, Lamont Williams, Cubs money line, and the Pacers -2. He bought some points. In NHL, Bobano's on the Bruins first period team total over 0.5, and the Panthers team total over 3. I'm on the Panthers to put their foot on the throat of the Boston Bruins and send them to Cancun. This has not been working. Betting on teams to finish other teams off. Now, the Rangers did finally finish off Carolina, but it's just not been working. It's just there haven't been the slam dunks that we've seen in yesteryear. But I'm on the Panthers first period money line because I'm also on the first period under 1.5. And just because it's tied after 1 doesn't mean I think that the Panthers are going to take care of business. I want that push and play. I'm on the Panthers full game -1 at +114, and I'm on that first period under 1.5 -120. Then in the late game, I've got to make some decisions. I'll be capping horses all day and all night, so I'll have a lot of time to sit with this. But I want the Avs, and I just need to spend a little more time with it. Bobano on the over 6. We've seen sharp action on the under. McKinnon and McCarr, I'd like to have involved. Maybe a rec SGP because I like McKinnon and McCarr to get involved. I'll have to figure all that out. And congratulations, Jose, on your cash on the Knuckleheads last night.
Oh my God, you don't understand how bad I needed that. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm happy.
Yeah. I didn't watch a second of the ball game this time because I've been bad luck, but thank God we needed it.
There are no balls out there in the game, but I hear you. Bobano is on the Oilers first period -0.5 at +146. I'm on the Oilers -1. I'm going to add the Oilers team total over 3.5 here in a second.
By the way, Paul Skeens is 1 pitch away from back-to-back striking out the sides. 6 straight.
Unbelievable.
Be ridiculous.
Taint is the Detroit Arizona full game under 8 here as well.
Oh!
What happened?
Fucking 101 fucking at the knee, strike 3. Jesus.
BJ's best bet. He's been on the Pacers -5 for a long time. I think I get there. I just need a little bit more time. I think I get there. Pacers first half and full game. I think I get there. Bobano is on the Pacers team total over 110.5. I just need a little more time with that one as well. And then I like the under and I like the Mavs in Oklahoma City, Dallas. Justin McKelvey, his stacks play today is Ohtani, RBI at +123. And then I'm going to bet the Nuggets here, but there's no need to move quickly. Oh, there is. This one, sorry, this is going to 4.5. It's the Mavericks that there's no need to move quickly. I got to get in my Nuggets action. So then in MLB, Vipe is on Chicago Cubs money line, Philadelphia -1.5, Yankees -1.5, Braves -1.5, Dodgers -1. LJ from H-Town, Pacers first quarter, Brewers, Astros over. So I'm going heads up with him on that because I'm on the under, and he's on the Stars money line, which I might be going heads up on that one too. Subhuman Gaucho play today, Panthers first to 5 shots. And Perky's play of the day for him, he's on the Cubs money line. Jose's on the under 7.5 in Pirates. Cubs got to feel good there. He's on the first 5 under 4 in Nats. Phillies, I am as well. That's one thing I bet coming in. White Sox, Yankees, no action. I'm going to be on Mariners first 5 and full game. TJ's on the over 8 in Tampa, Toronto. Minnesota, Cleveland, we're off. I'm going to be on the first 5 under and full game under New York, Miami. Cabs is on the Braves team total over. Dallas has moved to 3.5 now. Wow, Jarek. Huh. I'm certainly not betting that right now or in the next few hours. I got to sit with that. And we can talk about it also on the horse show tomorrow. Jose's cash cow. Well, it's Troy's cash cow, but Jose's rolling with it. Braves -1.5. I'm joining them. A's Royals, no action. Do I get to the Angels? TJ's on the Angels +1. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play the dog is the Angels. I got to figure out if I get there. I'm going to be on the Astros and the under. Cavs on the Astros team total over 3.5. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today's Boston Red Sox. He's joining Jose and Frank Rataco on that. And I'm with the Taint on the under 8 in Detroit, Arizona. TJ's best bet is Cincinnati, LA Dodgers first 5 over 4.5. And TJ and Jose are on the Rockies. And I don't want to be. I'd like to be on the under. Justin McKelvey, thank you, man. You're a big reason why we have great shows here. Thank you for all your insights, your angles, and your stacks play today. Viper MB, my man, thank you for being here right off the hop to give us your action as well and rock with us all throughout. Tori Coker, Knicks and Panthers money line parlay. Well, that Knicks on the money line will sure juice that one up, Tori, my guy. I'm that Heat. Jarek White, Brahma B, Joseph Gomez, Primetime 99, the Nuke Worker, Troy Torrance, Nut Flush Allen. What a great, great group. Joey Harb, Lee Davis, Cody Norton, Kelly McInnes, Billy Friedrich, Nasty Nate, Crystal Craig, Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper, Seven Hills Capper. I love it. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. AOD. Thank you guys. And Jose, absolutely great work. I know that baseball never sleeps for you. 2 huge shows, Saturday and Sunday. The Sunday show is starting earlier than normal, so keep in mind it's an hour earlier.
Yep, an hour earlier. Yep, so we can. It's selfishly because I'm gonna have a gigantic cry Sunday morning watching Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. But yes, an hour early. I'll be going by myself as well, so I don't have to subject anyone to an hour earlier of waking up, but it'll be by myself. We'll break down the action. Take about an hour. It'll be a good time. I can't wait.
Kong's clips. Yeah, I did. We talked about it, but I don't think I copied and pasted it here. Could you pop it in the chat one more time for us? Cricket action for Kong's clips. And Kong, track it. If you start getting paid in full, track
2-0 Pirates.
2-0 Pirates. Wow.
2-0 Pirates.
All right. Jason Work, respect. Joseph Gomez, thinking about the under 3.5 in that Liverpool game. What do you think?
I would rather, Joseph, you go full game over. But Liverpool team total under 3.5, I could see. But I would bet a full game over because this Liverpool team is not very good, especially defensively. They love giving up the first goal. I forget who it was last week. We talked about a Liverpool game, and they like both teams to score, and that's cashed in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It was the fastest casher ever. So if I was you, I would do an old Alex Classic special. Shout out to him. Both teams to score in the over 2.5.
And there's Kong's cricket action. Chennai Super Kings money line. Can you track it, Kong? Because if you get hot here, I can tell you first, Peter Loshak would love to have cricket action. So right off the hop there. Copied and pasted. Thank you, Kong, my man. And truly thank you for all the hard work you put in, Jose. My man. Jose is going to jump over after the soccer game. Going to jump over to the horse racing show. Call a couple races for us.
Yeah, that's Saturday morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because your
soccer
soccer game's on Sunday. My bad.
So you're good. Yeah, no. But speaking of soccer games, Jimmy, I purchased my tickets officially to Venezuela versus Jamaica soccer in Austin. Very big game. It's like July or June. I forget when it is, but big game in the Gold Cup. I'm going to be viciously high, and I'm going to be viciously I'm going to be very aggro that day because, Venezuela brings out the worst in me, my worst qualities. But it's nice to see those people, as always. It's going to be fun.
Oh, that would be dope, man. That would be so much fun. I love going to international games. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, wow, people really care.
Yes.
It's just way more fun. Way more fun. Thank you all for supporting our show. Not Flush on team total over for the Los Angeles Angels. And Nuclear says, hey guys, if you do bet horses, get over to Razor Sharp Show. Well put. Nuclear, my man. Nuclear says, when you come into Canada, Jose, not until he gets his.
I'm still convinced they'd let me in, but we'll
0%.
see. Give me a year, New Worker. Give me about a year.
0% chance he crosses the border. 0.
Jimmy, my people are very good at crossing borders, especially Venezuelans recently. So we'll make it.
It's going to cost you cash, man.
And shout out to Carla Traveler as well.
And
to my sister.
Yes, of course. And Jason says, turning on Colombian weather report next. Respect, Jason.
Respect.
Get
yeah.
That.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, the best comments of the day, one of the better comments of the day was someone saying that Sweet Tea Tits runs in the family with my sister. So shout out to that. It was nice. That was a good one.
Again, I will not comment.
All Venezuelan women have fake boobs as well. So shout out to them.
Kong's clip's going to be on Tyson Fury tomorrow money line. We have got a great breakdown from Danny Betts and Preston Ekdahl.
That's tomorrow?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Who do you have?
I have not studied it.
Okay,
I've not studied it. But I'm gonna check out the video, and I would like to have some action Saturday night. It's going to be hard to focus on the horses because Churchill starts at 6 p.m., but then we got the Nux game at 8.
Yeah. I'm going to see our friend Pavy today. Actually, I'm going to go watch his.
No, that's tonight.
I'm going today by myself, and Sunday I'm bringing Helga. Yeah,
that's dope. Dope. Jose, can you please bless our action? Say hi to Pavy for all of us and for me. Jose, can you please bless our action and lead us into the future?
I will. Shout out to you guys in the chat as always. Brahma, Coin, Saturated. Shout out to the people that gave my sister a few extra Instagram followers today. Kelly, thank you. Hills 7 Capper. Hills, I saw you trying to get in the horse race. All you have to do, become a gold member. Become a gold member. You'll be in the horse races every week, $9.99 a month, $50 horse races. And this Thursday, $100. This Thursday will be $100. So shout out to you, Nut Flush, Nasty Nate, all you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget, tomorrow, massive day of horses. And of course, I'll be betting on my guy, Marty Drexler tomorrow as well. So shout out to you guys and leche, los bookmakers.